An overseeing eye overhead, but I'm blind. Maybe it's all in your head, in your mind. Is 35 really dead or alive? I will believe anyway. I don't mind. Give me fantasy. Ooh, give me more of it. Give me lucid dreams. I'll get carried away. Believe in every single word you say. I'm going insane. I can't even really trust my brain. Don't know. Is it just a theory? Don't know. Conspiracy. Flat Earth, UFOs, Bigfoot, no one knows. White lies spreading out, catching fire, spreading loud. I hope you don't mind if I say I'm lost in your reality. Lies dipped in gasoline, catching fire, spreading down. Give me fantasy. Ooh, give me more of it. Give me lucid dreams. Or I'll get carried away. Believe in every single word you say. I'm going insane. I can't even really trust my brain. Don't know. Is it just a theory? Don't know. Conspiracy. All of these conspiracies, lies, oh lies. Hold my beer and tell me my life is a lie. My brain needs conspiracies. Intoxicate me out of my reality. Carried away. Believe in every single word you say. I'm going insane. I can't even really trust my brain. Carried away. Believe in every single
Hello! I am here. Hello! Hi Barry, hi Rolf, I love you both. Y'all are the bestest beans. Yeah, I mean, my coworkers and I are basically just like carrying the company in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's really funny because basically I would say like towards the end of every workday, since like I do the late shift, so I'm usually one of the last people to leave the building. But towards the end of the day, before everybody is like as things like wind down and whatnot, it's really funny because a lot of my new coworker friends just end up hanging out at the front desk, and we're all just kind of hanging out there. Just chilling. It's great. There was, I remember things were like really quiet at one point, and we all just started playing a crossword together. It was very good. Very good. But yeah, so there's kind of a small squad of us youngins that all kind of just hang out at the front desk towards the end of the day, which, you know, works for me. Works for me. I don't have to leave the front desk. Everyone comes to me, as it usually is. I did learn how to fix the coffee machine the other day. I'm like, oh boy, now I have to help my my coworker friends with doing that all the time now, because I know. No, the coffee machine sucks. Like, that machine is terrible. Because so basically at my work we have this coffee machine that is for like a complimentary coffee machine, so everybody can use it who comes in. Like, it's free, which is, I think, dumb. I think they should charge for it. Yeah. And Christina, the person who usually deals with it, also agrees. And my coworker friends, we're both just like, yeah, like if there was only a way we could make it so people had to pay for the coffee. Because, like, basically, Christina constantly has to buy, like, new cups, new coffee grounds, all the cream and sugar and stuff. It costs a lot of money to keep that thing going, and people just keep using it all the time, of course, because it's free coffee. And, there's just this constant, like, oh, the coffee machine's grounds are full, you gotta, like, empty it and stuff. And it's like, guys. But, you know, whatever. Oh my gosh. The thing the other day, was, like, I was doing some work at the front desk. I think I was, like, putting in information in the system and whatnot, and this lady, like, came up to me and was, like, saying, like, oh, the coffee machine isn't working because the grounds are full. And I'm like, okay, I'll be there in a second. She's like, you better, because like, people really want their coffee and stuff. And I'm like, this is free coffee. Why are you acting like you're entitled to this coffee? It's free. Let me do my work and I'll get to it. Oh my god. Yeah, so, but for the most part, my job has been good. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. I'm like, Jeebus. Jeebus. Oh my god. And so messy too. Like, people are really messy. Just like constantly trashing the place. That's why, we have to have people like clean stuff up all the time. So messy. But yeah. Otherwise, the job has been going well. Pretty chill. As I said, I think I have like some stress pains though around my back. Isn't the best, but other than that, I mean, you know, Barry, it's true. People ugh is a very true assessment. It's a very, very, very true assessment. But yeah. Besides that, things have been chill. Work's been going well. I have been enjoying working there just because it's, you know, pretty chill job. I get to meet lots of interesting people, and you know, the pay is pretty good, so I can't really complain too much about it, but I'm still gonna complain a little bit about it. Oh yeah, I work at the front desk for the Jewish Community Center, the local Jewish Community Center. That's like 10 minutes away from my house. It's right next to the University of Buffalo's campus. It is the Benderson building. I work there now. Yeah. But yeah, I basically, what my job mostly entails is, opening the door for people, because the doors are always locked. The only people who can get in are people who have, like, key fobs. So, like, members and staff and whatnot can get in without any problem, but otherwise you have to ring a buzzer and somebody at the front desk has to let you in. Which is what I do a lot. So I do that. I answer phone calls. I answer people's questions. I direct people to other people. And I sign people up for memberships as well. That's the other thing. Yeah. Gonna start looking for a job this week. Heck yeah, Rolf. Heck yeah, I believe in you. Yeah, Barry, people have been crazy. People have been... I feel like it got worse after the pandemic. I feel like people got even worse at driving than they were already. Like, the other day, I was in the car. My dad was driving me to work. And I was sitting in the car with him. We were going down our usual road. And it's like, it's one of those times where it's a straight road. And there's a road, like, to the right that's, like, goes to, like, a residential area. So, of course, there's a stop sign there. Because the straight road, of course, has the what's the term for it? Right of way. Like, if somebody's already driving on the straight road, they don't have to stop. So people, of course, there have to stop. But this person didn't stop. Like, who was coming from the side, and there was a car, like, in the street as well. And I remember we were literally in the car, and we just saw them, like, almost collide. Like, it was, like, this close. This close. It was pure luck that they did not collide. And it just, like, they stopped, and it was like, oh my god. Like, we almost witnessed a wreck. Jeebus. I'm like, why are people so bad at driving? Why? Like, everyone's just, like, zooming through, going 70 miles an hour, trying to go all over the place, and it doesn't matter, because it's always so funny for me to see this, but every time I see a car going, like, way faster than us, like, they're going, like, 60 and a 40 or something, right? And so they zoom past us, And then there's a stoplight up ahead, so we just catch right back up to them anyway. And it's like, did going that fast get you anywhere? No, it did not. You're still stuck here. Like, chill. I know, right? It's especially weird how people are like people will say like they're scared to drive and stuff, and people will be like, wow, why are you so scared? And it's like, because it's literally a death machine. Like, it's so easy to die in these things or because of these things, and people are just so laissez-faire about it. Like, what the heck? Jeebus. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's, as I said, it's so funny just seeing people like zoom past us down the road, and then we catch up to them anyway because they were stopped at a stoplight. And it's like, did you get anywhere, dude? Did you get anywhere far? You're still here at the stoplight, just the same as us, at the same time. So I don't think zooming that fast got you anywhere, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way, Barry. I'm pretty confident about my driving. It especially helped after, like, seeing how most other people drive. Like, I used to think, like, oh, I'm not really that good. And then after seeing how other people drive and how my driving instructor like, when I was going through my driver's ed classes, the instructor was like, whoa, you're so good, why are you here? And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I am good. Guess I am good at driving. Have a knack for it, but comes from, I think, my dad, because he's like one of the best drivers I know. He's really good. He got us through a tornado once. Like, we literally drove through a tornado during one trip. That was a time. But he did it. He did it. He actually did it. The mad lad. But yeah. He's like one of the main people I trust to get out of any driving situation. Yeah, I mean, that's understandable, Rolf. I don't think I would ever let my license expire, though, because I just really don't want to have to go through driver's ed ever again. I already went through all that. I don't want to have that ever happen ever again. So I think I understand the idea, but even if I never drove, I would still keep it up just so I don't have to do that ever again. Yeah, that is the other thing, yeah, Rolf, is that I'm guessing you guys have a lot more, like, public transportation and all that stuff. We don't really have that here. Like, we have some, but nowhere near enough. You really do need a car to get from one place to another in the US. What? Really? Really? That's insane. I wish that was how it was here. If your license expires, you have to do the whole thing all over again. You have to do the whole test and everything all over again here. And I'm like, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. No way, Jose. I always look at my license to remember, like, when it expires, so that when it comes around the time, I'm immediately, like, running to the DMV and be like, please, renew my license. I don't want to go through all this all over again. So, that whole thing, you know? I mean, it's pretty easy to renew it, at least. Like, as long as you do it before the expiration date, it's pretty easy to renew it. You just, like, go over there, and then, like, they test your eyesight and stuff, I think, and some other things, and that's it. It's pretty, like, one and done. But, of course, if it expires or you lose your license for any reason, then it's a pain. Yeah. I see. Makes sense, Rolf. Makes sense. But yeah. Driving. Fun. Fun. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way, Barry. That's why I usually, like, technically I could drive on my own, but normally I have my parents drive me places just because I'm like, I really don't want to drive. I really don't. Yeah, I mean, it's the same for me, too. I do have a grocery store that is walking distance, luckily. Like, I have a Dashes that's, like, literally just 10 minutes away by walk. By walk, I should say. Like, a minute away by drive. But yeah, the main grocery store that we use, though, Wegmans, is about like 10 minutes away. And all the other grocery stores we use are 10, if not more, minutes away from us, so... Big beef. Yeah, no, I get that, Rolf. I get that. I just really don't like doing it for me. Like, that's my main reason. I like being able to just sit in the passenger seat and chill and listen to music and all that instead. But yeah. I mean, if it were other people, I always feel guilty. Like, if it's my friends or something. Like, one time, the Monday when I went to the exercise place with Felicia, she had to drive me, like, a bit of the way there. It was literally, like, a minute drive, because the place we ate at was literally a minute away from the fitness place, so she just had to drive us that way. But even, like, that amount I did feel guilty about, and I always feel guilty with that, but, of course, with my family, it's my family, so I'm kind of like, whatever. They're my family. But yeah, with friends, definitely, I always feel guilty about that whenever that happens. Yeah, self-driving cars well, at the same time, I don't know if I would trust. Like, I would say self-driving car if there's, like, a way to switch between modes, you know? Like, I would be willing to just kind of let it go, but if I see, like, something's up, then to be able to, like, take back control, you know? And be like, nah, now I'm the one in control this time. Yeah. Yeah, I would especially not trust, like, the first self-driving cars. I would let it go for some time before I would use them. Same. Yeah. Heck yeah. Living the Mega Man Battle Network dream, or whatever. Except, I guess it's not exactly a dream, because in that game, in the original Mega Man Battle Network game, there's a whole level where, like, because the idea in this universe is everything is run by, like, the internet, like, everything, including cars and stuff. So the cars are, like, self-driving and whatnot, but, like, somebody hacks into the internet and stuff, and so the cars, like, just start going crazy, because all, like, the lights and everything are, like, messed up, and so the cars are going all over the place, and at one point, like, when the main character almost dies, because, like, she gets stuck in a car, and the car is just, like, gonna crash because it's self-driving and the whole system's messed up. And I'm like, oh no. Which is why I say, like, it would be good to have, like, the option of, like, manual drive. Yeah. Yeah, there does seem to be, like, some necessary limits, or at least, like, with everything to have the option for manual, like, to override with a manual ability to drive or steer or, like, do things, you know? Like, oh, if my oven isn't properly working through the internet, I can just run it like a regular oven, that sort of thing, you know? Like, to have that option for a manual version as opposed to a non-manual version. And the same with cars, too. To be able to, like, take the wheel if you notice something's up. Or if, like, the road is a bit too dangerous for going self-driving, you know? Like, I would bet, like, if a big storm is going on, you probably shouldn't trust your car just to try and drive you through it. I feel like that's a moment where you would kind of need to take the wheel. Yeah, let Jesus take the wheel. I mean, I guess that's an option. Yeah. 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 I mean, everything on the internet is basically connected to some... Like, now literally everything is connected through the internet. And there's some positives to that. You know, it does make things easier in terms of maintenance and other things. But yeah, the negatives is that anyone can access it and mess with it. And people do. Because people like to do that. People like to mess with things. I, like, legit, there's so many times where I've had to change, like, my password for accounts. Like, my Twitter or, like, other things. Because I'll get an email saying, like, oh, your account was logged into from freaking, like, Texas or something. And I'm like, what's this person doing, like, hacking into my account? There's nothing there. Like, I have, like, what, 100 followers or something? Like, what are you doing? Like, why? I don't understand. Yeah. I mean, like, I could take that even a step further. Imagine how amazing we can make the world if people just were nice. If people didn't try and do anything nefarious whatsoever, but, you know. Doesn't happen. That sounds like evil socialism to me, yeah. We can't have that. No way, Jose. I mean, I guess literally, since every time societies have tried, it never works out because the person in power never wants to step down after that. Never does. And so then it becomes a dictatorship. Big beef. Oh yeah. No one starved to death? What's wrong with you? Yeah. Yeah, I did conflate communism with socialism. That's right. Absolutely. Big beef. Also, I keep seeing Adam, like, the notification on the bottom right keeps saying, like, Adam is playing Mirror's Edge. Is, like, Mirror's Edge just crashing constantly? I feel bad for Adam. Oh, also, that reminds me. So, recently, all of us, of course, watched the series Half-Life VR, but the AI is self-aware. Incredible series. Love it very much. And the other day, Angel was like, oh yeah, that or his connection is flickering. That's true. It's also a possibility. Angel was like, it would be cool if we could do something like that too, like have our own like roleplay thing. And I was like, yeah, that would be cool. And then I thought about it and I'm like, but is there really any other game that you could do that with? Like, Half-Life is a very, like, specific circumstance because Half-Life, first off, is kind of made for role-playing, if that makes sense. Like, it's a game that works for that because of what it is. And then add on the fact of Valve's, like, all the modding that Valve allows with their stuff, like with Gmod and all that stuff. And you get like a whole situation that's ripe for like doing that. Yeah. No, I mean, like, how do I explain it? Like, I was thinking about, like, other FPSs. Would another FPS work as well as using Half-Life? No, I mean, like, yeah, there's role-play game, but I mean, like... like, in the sense of that series, like, doing the series like it, I was like, I don't know if there's any other game you can really do that with. Because, like, for example, like, let's say I thought, well... Another series we could do it with is maybe the Fear series, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Barry, is like you have like all the modding stuff and whatnot, which makes it much easier to mess with. Like, that's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah, red versus blue was a thing, that is true. Playing these games on, say, a table. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could just, like, do it with something like... I'm just thinking, like, what games could work besides, like in a similar fashion, I mean, what games could work? Maybe with some paper and pencils. Oh my god. Hey guys, I'm letting you in on a secret. It already exists. It's called D&D! Oh! Oh, snap! But, yeah. I mean, I guess... Cause, yeah, like... I guess there's, like, certain games that you could probably do that with. Like, especially, there's maybe, like, some D&D inspired games where you could invite your friends in and it would work out. I don't know, I'll have to keep... I will now base my entire personality around this entirely new concept. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. We'll call it Monsters and Mansions. Let's go! Yeah. Eminem. Let's go. Our new concept, Eminem. We'll call it Snakes and Mansions, S&M. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, as I said, like, the main problem, though, is the modding aspect. Like, what I meant by saying, like, Half-Life was a special case was not because of the gameplay necessarily, but because of the modding ability of Gmod and whatnot. The sequel to Stakes and Ladders nobody asked for. I'm working on our first supplement. I'll call it 8 Mile. Heck yeah. Damn. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll do it. VM night, new thing. Start a role-playing thing. Maybe fun. Serpents and stairways? Yeah, exactly. SNS. Yeah. Yeah, Rolf, are you up for the VN once again? Rejoining. This is the visual novel, Rolf, that you suggested. Like, when I think it was towards the end of last year, when I made a poll. And, one of the options was this visual novel, which is why we're going for it. I have like no idea anything about this visual novel, how good it is. The reason I have this is because Lulu got it for me. So, crossing our fingers, we'll see how this goes. Because I literally have no, like, knowledge of this game whatsoever besides, like, screenshots and stuff on the page, and that's it. And the fact that Lulu got it for me, so there's that, too. And yeah, no problem, Rolf. I need to play more Super Auto Pets. I actually spent money on that game when I first got it, because I wanted all the cute pets that were in the other packs. Like, I didn't get them for strategic purposes, I just wanted those pets. And then I played for a while, and I sucked at it, and then I haven't played it since. Like, I really should get back to like, make up my money's worth. I spent all that money just to get some boxes and stuff. And I mixed and matched, like, animals that don't really help each other at all, just because I wanted the cute pets. One day, I'll play some more. Rest in peace. No, Rolf. No, it was because I pushed you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rolf. I can't believe I've done this. But yeah, Super Auto Pets is hard, though. It's hard. It looks really cute, but it's definitely one of those games that looks cute, but it is extremely hard to play. Extremely difficult. Like, I never really got... Nah, it's just what happens when you build your whole run in anticipation of one specific high-tier pet and they just never roll. Well, I guess it's another thing. Probably the reason why it's so hard for me is because I'm not really a strategy person. And this is like a strategy game. And I'm usually just a wing it and hope for the best kind of person. So I never really like think about like building a certain like team or whatnot. I'm just like, ooh, this could be cool. And so then I die because I didn't think through any of it. Heck yeah. But yeah, I do a lot better with games that are a lot more of like instinctual rather than like you really gotta think ahead of time. I'm not really the type of person to do that. I'm just like, hey, let's run right into danger, let's go. This weapon looks cool, let's try it. Woo! That whole thing. Oh my god. Yeah. Which is why, like, you know, and stuff, what was it? Risk of Rain 2. In Risk of Rain 2, I always made my character, like, or at least I always try and make my character a really fast-paced character. Like, just running around and shooting and stuff and whatnot, because that's just the kind of playstyle I like. I like just kind of zipping around the map and fighting baddies and stuff and kind of going with an instinctual flow to fighting instead of just the typical, I don't know, like having to think about what I'm doing sort of thing. Which is why Huntress works so well for me in that game. And not much of the other ones listed there. Besides the one, I think there was one that we got later on that I tried and kind of worked for me. Huntress still worked the best, but the other one worked pretty well too. Yeah, it's all about whether the game gives me like the ability to kind of go zip zoop 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 and just kind of instinctually fight instead of having to really think about it too much. It's why I was really good at Hades. Was I literally spent most of Hades just like zipping around. Zagreus is like zoop 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 fighting. I still remember how like one of the times where Zach actually gave me a compliment was about my ability to play Hades. He's like, I remember he was like, I'm shocked that you're actually better at this game than most people that I watch. It works for me. Hello. Hi, Rolf. Welcome, welcome. How's it going?
Hello, hello. I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense also. Like, what you just typed in chat.
Yeah.
Because I definitely have not played the game enough to develop an understanding of it. I played for like a couple hours once, and then I haven't played it since. Actually, I can probably see on Steam exactly how long I played it.
I'm the same with things like Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
Pretty good at it, but only because like I just grinded a lot.
Yeah.
I could be better if I took the time to really think out my turns, but I just don't have the patience.
Yeah. Yeah, I only played for like 3 hours. Like 2.5 hours, I should say.
I've got 180 hours in it now.
Heck yeah. So that makes sense. That makes sense. Actually, how much do I have in Hades? Let me see. Almost 50 hours in Hades.
Nice.
Yeah. I was...
Also 180 exactly for me.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Well, like, for me, once I got, like, the credits and everything, I played, like, a bit more after that. But I haven't really gone back to it since I technically beat the game, you know?
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. And I
got... want to 100% it. So.
Yeah. I'm not really the type of person to 100% games, usually, unless they're pretty short.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the short indie games, like, we play on stream and stuff, I oftentimes 100% just because it's, you know, pretty easy to get all the achievements within a pretty short span of time. But with longer games like Hades, I can't see myself ever having the patience to actually, like, get everything. So I just do the things that I really want to do, and then I'm like, okay, I'm good. I beat the game, I got Persephone back, I dated Thanatos. We're now boyfriends. Yeah, that's all I need to do in this game. Goodbye.
Oh god, it took me so long to get the final achievement. Because I wasn't using any guides or anything.
I
so
see.
I just figuring it out myself, but I couldn't get Sisyphus's quest line.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I get this? I keep talking to him, I keep just grinding runs to get to him, and he just wouldn't talk to me, he wouldn't accept any more gifts, I don't get it. Turns out you can talk to his rock. I just never tried that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting that like you can talk to his rock.
Yeah. But once I figured it out, I still had to do like a bunch more runs just to get just to get to him. But
yeah, that's another thing is I will say I do need to go back into it just to do all those like main side quests like with the different characters because I haven't done those yet, and a big part of that was because I got frustrated because I couldn't figure out how to do them. I was like, how do I get Eurydice to, you know, come back and stuff, and like what?
Yeah. It's a very long quest line.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know how to do any of this, or I want, like, there was just a lot of those like side quest things that I want to do, but every time I tried to figure out how to do it, like I couldn't figure it out, so I would give up. I'd be like, I talk to these people millions of times. I don't know what they want from me.
Yeah, I do like those quest lines a lot.
Yeah.
Gives you something interesting and unique just during your runs, but it does become a problem when you're basically done with the game and you just need to do those, and then you just have to grind runs and hope that you get the right encounters, and then it becomes
And yeah, that's basically what happened to me. Was like I had everything else done, so it's just those side quests. And I saw that there was some way to do it from also, I think another issue was I also just didn't know how to activate them as well. Through the library. I didn't really know. I didn't really get it. I was like, okay. I'm very confused.
Parts of that game.
Yeah. Yeah. One day I'll load up my save and try and save everybody. Try and help everyone's relationships.
Hades 2 is coming, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. I remember that was the highlight for me of the Game Awards, was seeing that.
Yeah, sure.
Cause I did not expect that whatsoever, because up until that point, Supergiant kind of had this almost rule that they would never do sequels. I feel like I remember hearing them state that they would never do sequels. And now here they are doing a sequel.
Guess what? It's a sequel. We lied.
Yeah, we lied. I guess there's Hades just did way too well for them to not do a sequel.
Yeah, it's just too beloved.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so excited for it. That's literally one that I'm gonna get as soon as it's available. In early access and everything, I'm grabbing it. Like that.
Alright, I might do early access then.
Yeah.
I don't want to do early access, but I do want to.
Yeah.
I'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm definitely, because Hades was, and still is, probably one of my #1 games of all time. I had so much fun playing it, yeah. And
it's a very nice combination of characters and writing, but also really good gameplay.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best of all worlds kind of in one game.
Yeah.
It has everything in it, which makes a really good experience. So, yeah, it's definitely one of the games that I'm most excited for whenever it comes out.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right,
anyways, yeah.
Spin up this game.
You pull out this. Where is it? So I did boot it up not too long ago, so it should be fine.
Alright.
I say, and then everything just crashes and everything. That'll be great. Okay. Dang, I'm really rusty with this. I'm like, what do I do next? Oh yeah, I gotta stream it to Rolf. The freaky dizzle.
Let me also get set up.
There we go. Eee. Oh. There we go. Also, look at the. I hope you can see my mouse on the screen. I love this mouse. It's so cute. I think there's even a setting to change what the mouse looks like. Hold up. Yeah, look, you can change it. You can change the cursor so it looks like different things and everything. This one I think is still the best, so I'm keeping it, but it was still funny when I saw that. Okie doke. Time to start the game. Let's see. Whoa. What?
Oh, it's right to left.
Or no, there's actual things for me to click. I don't know what to click. There's a 6 here with but there's also this here as well. When I move it over here. Also, it says Chronicles of Restad. Restad. That is the question. Do I click that or that? Which one should I click?
I would go the left one, I think.
Heck yeah. 6 days left until the epidemic.
Uh-oh. We brothers of Saint Elmo don't have drinks in the morning.
Richard talks through his teeth and frowns, all to try and seem more strict, but it seems he's just another lodger for old Magda. Not one of the brothers, not a Sanator, not a hangman, of course not a savior. More of a grandkid to be wined, dined, and well cared for to prevent him from losing weight. It's hard for Richard to acknowledge, but after the fear and hatred, after the futile, heart-wrenching hope, and the following bitter disappointment, after everything he had seen in the eyes of the commoners during the years of servitude, he likes Magda's attitude. That's why the brother does not want to quarrel with the old lady. He knows he'll hurt them both if he snaps and rudely shows her place in the strict Tentarian hierarchy. But Magda continues to fuss over him. How come, my dear? It's customary here in... How did you say it again?
Röstad.
Röstad! From time immemorial it is so. Beer in the morning won't get you drunk. Only help your stomach wake up. Even my grandpa taught so. Trying to distract himself from this embarrassment, Richard imagines the drunkard who once lived in this house. Oh my god. Must have been a good old man. Richard never had relatives. He had the surname Murdoch, but no family, only the Brotherhood. Oh, yeah, this is you.
Okay. With Dentaria as your mother and Elmo as your father, all good people from the frozen taiga to the shiny milky mountains will call you brother.
Elmo as your father immediately made me think of Elmo. Yes! Join the Brotherhood!
I'm your daddy!
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. It's like that gif of Elmo with his hands up and it's fire behind him. The high-flown words of the testament echo in his mind. I just realized...
No ill, no wine, no, sleeper forbid, moonshine. Brew me the herbs, Magda.
I don't know where to put my face for this game. I guess up here. I'll put it in the top right. There we go. There's my face.
Top right, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. The old lady looks at him sympathetically and nods her gray head with concern. Got stiff bowels, darling. You can say it straight. There's no need to be shy. I'll cure you in no time.
Not that brew, another one. The one for the hangover.
While the old lady tries to digest this contradictory demand, Richard notices his shadow slowly coming to life. It ripples and detaches from the wall. The pale northern sunlight had pressed it against.
That sounds ominous. Shoo!
Richard hisses, but the shadow has already awakened. It distorts and changes into the most grotesque forms, threatening to swallow the unsuspecting Magda or cut her apart with sharp, bird-like claws.
Hey, get out!
Why do you talk to old Magda that way, grandkid? Hangover brew, so be it. Richard feels awkward and lies in response.
It was a cat sitting on the window.
Magda turns around at last. The tranquil light of the last warm days of autumn falls through the dim, dusty window. It plays with the floating specks of dust, gleams off the jars of glass and copper. and only Richard and Magda stand in its way, casting 2 straight still shadows on the plastered wall. Huh.
Alright.
Okay. Oh, is this like little stories that then lead to the main story over here?
I guess. I'm not sure.
This is an interesting game already.
Yeah.
5 days left. Yeah, this is like a prequel, and then the epidemic happens.
Oh, so you can click that to skip the prologue, basically, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Richard steps silently under the countless arches of his dreams' passages. The ringing of bells attracts him, drives him into the dust-coated chambers. Their owner, Anya, stays frozen, turned aside, pretending the Sanator's coming means nothing to her, but Richard knows it is not so. His attention darts to her new creation, a huge monstrous birdcage with the gates bent outward like the ribs of an autopsy cadaver.
Lovely.
I do like this image a lot. This is cool.
Yeah.
The Sanator is used to the Shadow's grotesque creations, the most vivid combinations of forms and images. Hadn't he seen them for years already? Today, however, Agda manages to impress him.
What is it?
Hold up, I'm gonna turn the volume a little bit down, because it's a little loud for me.
It's too loud, turn it up.
It's too loud, turn it up all the way. Ah! Okay. Hopefully they'll be better. Okay. Agda sighs and throws a brief glance at her guest.
She's cool.
Yeah, I like her. I like her. I like the style so far of this game. The art style is pretty cool. No greeting. No thanks from you, as usual. Despite the unfriendly words, the tone of her voice tells Richard she's pleased with the question. I like it, but something is missing. The Sanator isn't generous. Oh wait, no. That's you. That's you.
It's hard to tell who's
Yeah.
supposed to be talking. I like it, but something is missing.
The Sanator isn't generous with his compliments, expecting a catch. I wonder if, like, once we hit the main game, if it will be more, like, typical visual novel-like, or if we're gonna continue this way.
I don't know.
Anya, as if expecting such a review, flashes a ragged smile and turns into smoke almost immediately. A trembling gust of it slides from the eerie chair, blowing to the cage. A moment later, a bizarre black bird treads the bone perch. Caw! She cries as she unfurls her mighty wings, slaps them against the bars, and bangs her beak on the metal.
Ah, now I see. Well, I should have guessed. Will you sit in this cage now?
Woohoo! The bird answers and swells with clusters of open eyes.
Okay.
Richard sighs wearily, not impressed by the smoldering stare of a dozen pupils.
Why do you keep asking for it again and again, Anya? Don't you know the commandments?
The shadow bends lazily, sliding out of the cage in a stream of smoke, flowing through the bars like a mist and adopting her human form again. I know they were never inviolable, Richard. I know all brothers violate them. You teach us, pamper us, let us out into the world. Richard raises his fingers as if his words were a quote from St. Elmo's Codex.
I am not the one accountable for my brothers. Am I to be their watchman? Am I my brother's keeper?
Stop talking to me that way. I'm not your toy. Richard frowns, lips pursing in a thin line, wrinkles crackling across his forehead betwixt his brows. He throws his hands up, showing that her accusations have nothing to do with them.
You should not look through my eyes now, Anya. This isn't about the commandments. This is about what you feel, what you desire.
The shadow turns around, avoiding looking him in the eye, and the Senator knows how angry she is. He must not leave her in such a state.
You should not hold on to your anger, poison yourself, obsess over impossible dreams. Trust me, I care about you.
Without letting him finish, she turns around and hurls herself at him like a black cat, scratching and striking. You idiot! She roars. To the sea with your caring. Let the tenebraces feast on your commandments. I only wish to live. Richard waits without defending himself, and the strikes weaken, as if Anya was being herself and not him. He is still calm and strict, showing none of his feelings on the surface.
I will do anything to keep you alive, even if you don't believe me, or don't have the patience. All to keep you from knowing the sea, I promise.
She slumps against his chest, clutching his shoulders with sharp fingers. Is there really no way? Her eyes silently ask. Richard only shakes his head.
It is not the time. I have no influence, no ink, no power. Vigilant eyes watch us all.
He holds Anya and looks into her eyes. The steel pulsates between them.
Trust me. Together we'll make it to the end, and we'll be able to bypass it.
Anya swells in his arms and rises triumphantly. Her shining eyes nearly throw sparks. Your promise was honest. I felt it. I heard it. You were not lying.
Could I?
Richard smiles, hiding a bitter pang. Then go ahead. Act. Justify my trust. Richard awakens, bringing the precious grain of the promise with him. Oh, he did not fib. There are ways to keep his promise, and he'll find them.
Okay.
4 days left. Whoa, this music. The soul lies in a pile of ash, and blackened fingers dig into the dirty flakes of its last shelter. And again it struggles to restore the images of that world. Rays of sunshine and puddles, wet cobblestones and shining roofs, a silver of sky. Only words left without the names they used to use, and that the other memory, that which they did, that which must not be remembered. A cry full of suffering and rage emerges from where the stomach once was. It struggles through the vortex of the throat, falls out of the mouth like a wingless bird, and drops down, its flight ended. The body, the memory of the body, writhes and shakes, giving birth to new cries again and again, as if getting rid of the remnants of flesh, as if repelling everything that could store his cursed memory, until only ashes, a pale glow, and putrid fumes remain. The anger, the grief, and the despair grow and multiply in this new husk. With them comes the envy of those whose world has not yet crumbled into dust. And suddenly, a touch. A touch of strength, color, life. One by one, palms slide into the cloud of ash and vapor that her body has become. They shield, protect, and cover her essence from the swarming thoughts and reverberating cries. The pain is still with her, but already remote, alien, as if not hers. It is as if someone powerful took it away, pushed it aside, and beckoned it to him.
Do you remember?
The voice seems to come from within, enveloping her with warmth. The soul remembers, faces, voices, the old house, and the other things too. I do. She wants to name the entity embracing her, and the name falls off her tongue. Oh, it's a lady. I remember Lady Millier. I can grant you. That's the old lady
I can still do
voice.
it.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it.
I can grant you return.
Whoa!
Damn.
An outbreak of bright, burning anger scorches the soul, making vapors and ashes stir violently, but Miller's hands hold her closer. Cool fingers absorb the raging flame, giving her the right to choose. What should I do? Seek the
servants of the old master and destroy them. I glued your memory together. All that you've managed to carry through the houses, I grant you strength and time.
What if they have escaped? Ella's laughter trembles, and so do the hands holding the soul, preventing her from crumbling and disappearing. I'll find them, Lady Miliar.
Then look at me. Come on.
The voice stops, waits, and then does not ask, but orders.
Look.
A whirlpool of color catches the soul, and countless hands drag her deeper within it. A shining cacophony of thousands of images, sounds, and emotions storm into her mind, crumbling, twisting, and tossing her upward like a feather. Whoa. Whoa.
That was trippy.
Yeah, that was something. I still don't understand what's going on here, but I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
3 days left until the epidemic. Despite the late hour, lights shine through the windows of the town hall. Executor Winfred yawns widely, trying to overcome his growing sleepiness. He hears footsteps and the creaking of oak floorboards downstairs. Brother Avis ascends, clumsily carrying an armful of old scrolls from the archive. The Sanator throws the pile of withered papers on the table, and Winfred, who chose a bad time to yawn, inhales a cloud of stirred up dust and sneezes loudly.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
Look what you're doing,
Complains the Executor, wiping his nose with a glove that still smells of a bonfire.
You wanna take this one?
Yeah, I can do that. What? Avis, wearing a mask, is seemingly unperturbed. Winfred, help me stretch the scrolls. The Executor simply looks at him silently. We have to spread out the maps. Winfred puts a hand to his ear and leans over his colleague, pretending to be straining to hear.
Speak clearly.
I said...
What? I can't hear anything.
Finally, the Sanator rips off his mask and shouts in his high-pitched voice, no longer reverberating from inside the heavy beak. Damn it, Winfred! Are you doing this on purpose? Smiling, Winfred spreads his hands in a peaceful gesture.
Brother, have I ever lied to you? Take off your crow hat more often, and you won't know where to hide from the wenches.
Embarrassed, Avis puts his mask back on immediately, flipping numerous fasteners and stretching the creaky leather strap. The Executor sighs.
No wenches? Do you really have to wear that thing all the time?
I am a Sanator. I like the idea of his voice being like deep when he's wearing the mask, but when he takes it off, he's like,
Yeah.
I'm a Sanator.
He's like Kylo Ren.
It's
Although
so...
Kylo Ren is still pretty deep voice.
Yeah.
Nonsense! You are the only doctor in town who pretends to be a bird all the time. Both when necessary and when not. Or are you afraid of getting sick? I heard there are such.
The Executor twists his face, struggling to remember the proper word.
Hobius.
Hobius.
Ho.
Winfred understands the true reason. It's not easy to win respect and recognition in the city when your appearance is at odds with the generally accepted idea of what the Brothers of St. Elmo look like, or rather what they should look like, in line with all the tales and superstitions. He decides to change the subject.
Well, well. Why does Weiger need all these maps all of a sudden? And at this hour, no less.
Avis stumbles for a moment. He did not say.
How come?
I don't know. He wasn't himself since this morning, as if something had happened.
I see.
He was looking completely past me. Do you remember the Helensburgh plague, the one that happened 5 years ago? He was there. He and Richard. Winfred rubs his chin thoughtfully, but suddenly he laughs out loud, addressing his confrere with a deliberate mocking.
Or maybe he just couldn't hear you. Take off that beak.
When the plague will strike, you'll be the first scrambling to wear the same one. The executor immediately makes a protective gesture and smacks his colleague upside the head. Ow, Winfred!
Don't you jinx us.
It's too late, man. I saw the thing. There's a plague.
Coming, dude.
Yeah, it's coming, dude. It's too late. Once again serious, Winfred approaches the window and gazes thoughtfully into the distance between the steeples and weather vanes into the cold thickening darkness. He stares at the lights dying in the windows for a long time. Oh my god, why can't I remember each time?
Röstad.
Röstad.
Close enough.
Wrapped up in the evening fog, then says barely audibly,
Just what we needed.
oof. 2 more days.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, there's movement on this screen with the people moving around. That's cool. But it reminds me of that meme of 24 hours remaining. This is what's going on here right now. The gingerbread quarter of Rostad doesn't smell of gingerbread at all. It may disappoint the few guests of this northern outpost, but it's merely the dwelling place of wealthy merchants, petty nobles wary of debauchery, and prosperous artisans. In short, the place is boring and mediocre, almost the same found in most Tantarian towns spread from the frozen taiga to the Milky Mountains. Today, several houses surround a well-kept courtyard, which is unusually crowded as exorcist brothers finish placing the seals on the doors of rich citizens. Brother Weiger, the Grand Exorcist of Rechstadt, stands aside and oversees the work of his subordinates, occasionally correcting them and giving instructions. Soon only one door is left. Weiger raises his hand and sternly says to the younger brother, diligently drawing the lines of the last seal.
Draw more smoothly. Think of this as door to your own house.
Despite the strict tone, Weiger is not too angry at the negligence of his subordinates. The local who paid for the seals for himself and his neighbors is just an odd fellow. Superstitious fear sometimes pushes citizens to very eccentric acts, and yet the Brotherhood honors its reputation. They will place the seals in such a way that no spirits, tenebres, or even Mela Miliar herself may step inside these walls. Many years had passed since Weiger had put on the crow mask, but surging memories of those dark days worry him, giving rise to a vague anxiety in his soul. He thoughtfully strokes the tip of the beak on his white mask covered with patterns of the seal, and the memories instantly explode in a cascade of monstrous images. Houses burning like giant bonfires, parades of white crosses drawn in chalk on hastily boarded doors and shutters, the howl of a fiery storm devouring plague-infected quarters, and the smell that even incense and spicy herbs stuffed into his mask's beak cannot kill. Sickening and sweet, bitter, burning the throat. He will remember it forever, even if the sleeper has mercy on him and all other images suddenly fade. The exorcist shudders and shakes his head, wishing to rid himself of the evil thoughts. He will not let fear take hold of him. Not now, not ever. I love this house in the background. Look at that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's a cool house. Isolated cases of a disease not yet studied are no reason to announce the beginning of an epidemic. Yet he should send a raven to Dorlenburg just in case. With his peripheral vision, Weiger notices movement and turns his head. At one of the doors, a freckled girl of about 8 years old is enthusiastically rubbing at the freshly created seal.
Hey, Scram.
The girl noses Weiger and sticks out her tongue in response, chuckling. The Grand Exorcist is not irritated. The seals cannot be destroyed that easily. Neither can a palm erase them, nor a chisel chip them. Not even the endless northern showers and cold October wash them away. The brothers of St. Elmo alone know their secrets. But feeling that the shadow stretched out by the midday sun has stirred a bit, Weiger realized that it is time to teach the wretch a lesson of respect for the Brotherhood, a lesson that all good people of Tenteria must learn sooner or later.
You little prankster.
Weiger takes off and strides towards the girl, but she squeals and rushes away. The exorcist follows her into the alley under an arch and strides faster. Very soon he catches the mysterious girl in a narrow and stuffy dead end. Gotcha!
Gotcha.
Looking back at the approaching brother, the girl frantically bangs her tiny fists on a door upon which the seal is already whitening. Finally, the door swings open, and the frightened child rushes to the safety under the skirt of a woman who appears in the doorway. Ryder looks up and recognizes the pale frog-eye that he recalls must be her name. The woman timidly moves away quietly, as if she herself is somehow guilty, asks, "What did she do, good brother? My little birdie?" The exorcist softens his look, but his tone is strict.
Your birdie tried to erase the seals.
Frog guy spanks the girl right through the fabric of her emerald dress and huffs. "You're completely out of control, little brat." She then asks the Grand Exorcist in an ingratiating tone, "Don't punish her. For the sleeper's sake, I'll do it myself. Please don't, good brother." Edgar just shrugs it off and is about to leave, but Frogine, looking a bit askance, adds, "In these drawings, to be honest, we never ask Heinrich to deface our doors. They're made from solid Ancoria wood, not forged from old pipes like his own. Drawings." The exorcist throws his hands up in indignation and responds with bitter irony.
Oh, so the door's defaced. Well, as you wish. I'll order my men to erase the seal immediately. If you prefer the visitor spirits, that's your choice. And may the sleeper keep you safe.
My barbarian manages to turn around when the woman, already breaking into tears, grabs him by the edge of his cloak, terrified. "Oh, forgive my ignorance, I did not know. Don't erase it." For a few moments, the exorcist looks into Frog-Iron's wet, wide-open eyes. Perhaps his words were a bit excessive.
Farewell,
he says. "Sleeper bless you, good brother." Upon leaving, Wenger hears the door bolt click, and behind it, Frogine starts scolding the child. Only now does he allow himself to smile slightly underneath his mask. The exorcist glances at his shadow, stretched out by the dim northern sun, and it seems to tremble, chuckling in response. Amazing. One day left. Despite the early hour, the street is empty and lifeless. Uneasy anticipation grips the whole area. It bristles with the teeth of lowered gratings and the shields of locked shutters. There are no voices, only the wind rushes carelessly with yellow whirlwinds of dust and fallen leaves. Evis feels many frightened eyes are watching him. All of them expect something from him, rely on him, not only on him, on all the brothers. Avis becomes ashamed that their hopes are beyond the Brotherhood's abilities. Everyone in the fortress is waiting for a crow from Dolerberg, as if the letter could stop the number of sick growing every day. Wait, since he's thinking it, I'm gonna use his regular voice. "I bet they'll write something like, 'We recommend a quarantine and harsh measures,'" Avis thinks with a bitter smile. He is not afraid of the scale of a possible epidemic, an unknown disease. That's what is scary. Meanwhile, the city becomes dangerous. While pious citizens sit in their homes, others less pious are out on the streets of Rastatt. If the Brotherhood starts doing badly, a riot is inevitable. Very soon, he will not risk walking the streets alone. Avis walks into another alley. The echoes of his steps reflect from the walls, dissolving into the damp gloom. Only one house left. Once he checks it, his round is over. The Sanator knocks with a rusty door knocker and asks the usual question, trying to speak as low as possible. Good citizens, is everyone healthy?
We're alive.
The voice responds, muffled by the thick door. Not too detailed, but Avis does not need more. Sick people would surely beg for help. He is not mad at those who have not opened the door for him. The Sanator leaves, happy with the realization that there will be no more victims on his shift. But how long will it last? Distracted by gloomy thoughts, he steps on something and feels an unpleasant crunch under his knee. Avis lowers his gaze and cold sweat covers his forehead. On the ground there are dead birds, all covered in blood. What in Tenebrace? Composing himself, the Senator carefully examines the birds, not daring to bow his head too low. Pigeons, crows, all torn crosswise. He looks around in hate, suppressing a quick flash of fear. There is no one around, only the wind wails mournfully against creaky weather vanes and ripples through sun-bleached flags. He shifts his gaze, and for a moment it seems to him that something is hanging from a weather vane. A shining scarlet ribbon soars in the wind. Oh, it's the Scarlet Scarf! Name drop! Pulsing, wriggling as if it were alive. Avis steps back in disbelief and frantically rubs the red glass lenses of the chrome mask with his palm. When he opens his eyes again, the teasing scarlet ribbon is nowhere in sight. Was it a vision? Indeed, he hardly slept that night. He and Wenger marked infected houses on the map. With every pin he put down, Wenger changed his expression but remained stubbornly silent in response to questions.
This is the massacre.
Yeah.
We'll see after the autopsy. For now, this is mere speculation. The infection might be spreading from underground.
Is this... Avis stops this thought and hastily signs himself with a protective gesture. Quickly, to the fortress. Uh-oh. Oh, achievement unlocked, Bad Omen. Let me look at the achievement real quick. It doesn't say anything. It says Bad Omen. That's it. That's all you need to know, I guess. I don't know. Can it say, like, complete the prologue or something? Nah. Okay, here we go.
Oh, that's it? That was the game?
Yeah, we beat it! Woo! The hours just before dawn are the quietest. Actually, that reminds me. Oh, yeah, we can save! Coolio. Okay, I'm not saving just yet. We haven't really had any choices yet. The hours just before dawn are the quietest. Carriage wheels aren't rattling on the pavement, and neighborhood goodwives aren't gossiping while leaning out of their windows. Even the birds sound too timid as they start their morning songs. Only a few windows, those of the rich people's houses, are lit with lamplight. The servants in there tiptoe around quietly, cooking breakfast and cleaning their master's clothes. And then the dawn rises in the east, and gentle sunlight paints the pavement, wet from the morning dew, gold and pink. A new day has come. Oh, achievement unlocked, a new day has come. People's voices and the creak of shutters can be heard over the light-hearted chirping of the birds. The shutters open one after the other like the wooden eyelids of the town, letting the warm sunlight in. A cold drought is creeping through the cracks in the window frame. Richard Murdoch cringes as he tries to find a warm spot on his narrow bed. Sleep clings to his eyelids with its soft fingers, warms his temples, and begs him to stay for a minute or two. Don't listen to the morning drowse. You will be cheated! The trickster will steal your morning freshness and vanish, leaving you with a heavy head and a bad mood. Richard gets out of bed, shakes off his drowsiness, and puts on his clothes while listening to old Martha clinking the dishes downstairs. While waiting for his breakfast, he looks out the window, casually counting the plumes of smoke billowing up towards the sky. The wind smells of dampness and burnt leaves, the usual autumnal fragrance, yet something in it feels off. A timid knock on the door comes at last. Martha's fear used to hurt him, and it took him some time to understand and forgive the commoner's attitude. His breakfast is waiting behind the door. There is some warm bread and sliced cheese, a boiled egg, some greens, garlic, and a mug of steaming herbal infusion. A simple, homely meal hardly fit for a man of his standing, but Richard always puts his habits before his status. That sounds good. I would eat that.
For breakfast,
yeah. Sipping the flavorsome drink, Richard grins as he recalls his argument with the housekeeper. For quite a while, the poor woman simply refused to realize that starting a new day with a pint of beer is against his grain, and tried to wine and dine him properly. He had to coldly reprimand her, but the fresh minty aftertaste and the tranquil vigor were worth it. Naturally, he had to collect and prepare the herbs himself. Even the local herbalist, whom one would expect to be well-versed in their craft, turned out to be rather ignorant when it came to creating something other than laxatives and hangover remedies. If it weren't for the greenhouses of the Brotherhood Fortress and his own foraging in the forest, Richard would have long forgotten the taste of his favorite cordial. After finishing his breakfast, Richard heads downstairs and out into the inner yard. Here, in a rickety shed covered in the shadows of a sprawling old apple tree, is where he keeps his workwear. It's not quite so easy to put it on every day. The first thing he puts on is a greasy ointment, which has a slight swampy odor to it. Richard rubs it on his wrists, knees, and neck. It's a fairly extravagant concoction, but an effective one. The smell of this ointment is repulsive to the blood-sucking insects. After that, with the greatest precaution, soft leather gauntlets are put on, well worn with years of labor. Wide flared cuffs make them look like the wingtips of a strange bird. Now all that remains to do is to put on his high boots, to don and gird a heavy robe smelling of tar, and of course to put on his mask. This heavy white mask with reddish lenses over the eyes is stuffed with herbs. Basil, thyme, garlic, rosemary, peppermint, mahoram, all finely chopped and tightly packed inside. The smell is so strong that an unprepared person would start feeling dizzy at once. This is legit how it used to be done.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Like, that's why they had, like, these weird bird-shaped masks, was to stuff all the herbs in there, so that the idea is, like, you would breathe through that. Like, almost like a mask, like, now we have days, like, to keep out the toxins.
Back then they had the miasma theory that, like, foul-smelling air spreads disease.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
having nice smells will help you.
Yeah. Though, in some ways, like, it wasn't like they were entirely wrong. Like, the reason...
they're closing in on the truth.
Yeah, they were closing in on the truth. Yeah, because when you do smell, like, a bad smell, it is kind of to say, like, there's something bad in the air that you probably shouldn't be inhaling.
Yeah, a lot of things that spread disease do smell terrible, so...
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. Yeah.
Rotting corpses.
Yeah. And having a mask of any kind in those kinds of situations is good. It's not going to entirely protect you no matter how well you make it smell, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the outfit. I love it.
Damn.
Nay, Rich.
Looks baller.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so cool. I especially love the red cape as well that is with it.
Yeah.
It was really good. Nay, Richard is not a jester nor sleeper forbid, a cesspit cleaner. The gleaming glasses and the heavy beak full of incense speak for themselves. The Sanator brother, Richard Murdoch, likes to call himself a soldier, and his battlefield lies within the cities and villages of Tintaria. His enemies, the invisible and ruthless plagues that harvest human lives year by year. Crazy. Is this the... Oh, this is the journal. Oh, this is, like, everything we've read so far. Okay, how do I see the... Hello?
What are you looking for?
There it is. Codex. Brotherhood. There's so much here. I don't know if I want to go through. Yeah, there's too much here. Like I
think
just
we pick it up.
Yeah, I think
playing.
yeah. While we're playing, we're kind of just figuring it out as time goes on. Many would think of him otherwise, though. Like, if it was, like, with Ebon Light, where it, like, slowly gives it to you bit by bit, I can do it, but seeing it all as just, like, this giant thing of text, I'm like, nah, I'm sorry, that's too much for me.
Never mind.
Yeah, goodbye! The Sanator walks down the street, and people move aside frightened, not wishing to be touched even by his shadow. According to local superstition, which the Brotherhood of St. Elmo have been unsuccessful in eradicating, the shadow of a hangman, a gravedigger, or a Sanator could give disease to sinful people. But who can claim to be without sin these days? Even without personally killing people in the eyes of terrorized citizens, Richard was both the sinner and the saint. He would verify the verdicts of fate and sign them, marking yours by chalking the sign of the cross upon them. His hands would cure, but they were also stained with blood, and his clothes reeked of smoke. It was not he who would throw a torch into one sickbed, who would nail down doors and windows, who would wheel piles of corpses away on a creaky cart in order to burn them, but still, through the red lenses of his mask, he could see the suffering of those visited by Sanators. Large families or singletons, rich and poor alike, none saw mercy from pestilence or from Richard. He had been offered money, but had never taken it. He had been begged, but always remained silent. He had been cursed, but would simply move on to the next house. Richard is a Sanator, a plague doctor. Such is the fee his job extracts. Today, unfortunately, more mournful labors are waiting for him. A few days ago, a sick man was found on Merchant's Lane, dying from bloody gashes on his neck, belly, and chest. His skin was crackling, the ichors mixed with blood oozed from his body, staining his clothes and adoring them like a horrible scarlet scarf. Oh! There it is! Since then, 17 more citizens have fallen ill and the quarter has been quarantined. I'm trying to think what disease this could be.
I don't know if it's a real one or not.
Yeah, it could be like a made-up one, but I was thinking like...
Sounds similar to a black plague.
Yeah, it does. Like the same kind of symptoms. At the end of the street, before the entrance into the formerly clean and bright gingerbread quarter, the Sanator is greeted by a rude, slapdash barricade that looks as if it were built by the rabble-rousers piling up junk to incite the people. There are playing sparrows and even a single cart wheeled. Some wicked troublemaker had hung a dirty black cloth over it, and now it's billowing in the wind like a cursed banner of infamy. This time, it was not the rioters who had built the defenses, but some negligent guardsmen who hadn't bothered to build a decent barricade. This was easy to understand, though, as boards and stones would rarely stop the plague, especially given the nighttime guests. The morticians carting the tarry sacks away, and the Sanators taking the sick to the infirmary. The guards' halberds are there to curb the marauders' avidity, nothing more. Two men are waiting for Richard right at the barricade. The small, skinny man is Brother Avis, in wondrously clean clothes, not at all stained with blood. The brother who seems even bigger next to the partner is Brother Winfred, an executor with a bludgeon and a short sword on his belt. Richard touches the brim of his hat in greeting and hurriedly asks the main question that had been nagging him for several days.
Any response from Dollarberg? I'm not gonna do the mask thing for all of them.
Yeah, that's I was like, when you started doing it, I was like, should I do that or should I not? Because I was thinking like, oh, maybe there's gonna be like a million masked people.
Yeah, maybe not. The Raven returned before dawn. Nothing reassuring. The malady is unknown. They recommend quarantine and rigorous measures.
Which is, I remember that's what Avis said is what was probably going to be said when they brought back. The Senator swings his hand resentfully as if to grab the throat of the ones giving such orders. Yeah, this is, when did this come out? Did this game literally come out as COVID was happening? Because that
Possibly.
that would be funny a little bit, like dark humor funny. I mean,
Yeah.
like too real. If we can't, oh wait, yeah, that's you.
If we can't stop it within a week, Rostad will be closed. Damn it. How can we stop an unknown plague in only a week? And what of the sick? How was the night? This one's you.
Yeah, this one's me. 3 died, and those ridiculous rumors about the Scarlet Scarf are spreading again. Some people say they've seen it on some houses. Well, you've seen it, bro! You've seen it as well! Don't call it a ridiculous rumor, you saw it too, and we're kind of freaked out by it.
Hello, Owen.
Oh, hi, Owen! Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I love you so much. We're playing this, so far really interesting visual novel called Sanator, Scarlet Scarf about a plague.
Like Dr. Dating Sim.
Heck yeah! Oh my gosh. Ava stops, then nervously shudders and moves his beak sideways, momentarily resembling a bird even more. It's strange, but today it seemed for a moment that there was something hanging from the weather vane.
It's just your fatigue, Avis. Get some rest. We've got an autopsy tonight.
Richard, do check those houses just in case. The Walders, the Hines, and the Wigmars. Do you know where they live? Richard nods in agreement, and the tip of his beak oh, frick. Apparently hitting the middle mouse button brings up the log. Richard nods in agreement, and the tip of his beak swings along with his confrere's words.
Remind me about the Hines. Their house is up the street on the left. It's the one with tiger violets on the windowsill. Alright, Avis, we should get going.
Winfred starts to turn away, but stops, remembering something.
By the way, Richard, are you armed? As usual, is there anything to beware out there? Avis said he'd seen some marauders, but they fled. The guards won't do anything.
Yes!
Oh my gosh! Hi, Adam! Welcome,
Hello,
Adam. Welcome, Raiders. How's it going? I love you so much, Adam. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the raid. Hi, Adam. Welcome. Thank you. We're playing some Sanator Scarlet Scarf visual novel about plague doctors, which has been interesting so far. I wonder if they are on the same side. The houses here are filled with valuables. Richard shrugs. The threat seems insubstantial to him.
I don't think they dare attack a brother. Cornered rats bite, but personally I don't believe in marauders that much.
Winfred, do I look like a liar to you?
Calm down, Avis. I mean, the ones you saw might not be human.
Oh, snap.
Bum, bum, bum.
The Sanator hastily makes a protective sign. And yeah, I've been doing well. Have some aches from work, but besides that, I'm all good. Sleeper forbid. Better not even think that it would be the one hanging out the scars.
Marauder or spirit, it's all the same. Both spread the disease. Anyway, it should all become clear tonight.
Winfred lifts his hands in dismay, and it seems like he's grinning under the mask.
See you at the fortress.
May the sleeper help you. Brethren leave, and Richard follows the path, getting across the barricade and entering the plague's domain. He walks past guardsmen playing dice in front of 2 smoky, pungent fires, and turns onto the lane. This is a shortcut to the houses marked with the mysterious scarlet ribbon, and Richard doesn't want to frighten the people who are trapped near the plague with his appearance. Yeah, Mirror's Edge. I did see you were playing Mirror's Edge. It kept like flickering on and off. It just kept saying, Adam is playing Mirror's Edge. Adam is playing Mirror's Edge. Adam is playing Mirror's Edge. And I'm like, is Adam okay? The streets that used to be so boisterous are now silent. Actually, speaking of that, I for a second when I was thinking of possible games to do similar to the Half-Life VR, but the AI is self-aware. Have you seen that series, Rolf?
No, I have not.
I highly, highly recommend it. It's so good. It's so good. Basically, the Wayne, the online personality Wayne and his friends kind of do like this sort of role play where like Gordon is like trying this virtual version of Half-Life, you know? And all the AI in the game like become self-aware, and of course the AI, it's not actually AI, it's his friends playing the characters. But it does, like, completely change the vibe of Half-Life, you know? Because, like, the original Half-Life, and also the sequel, too, to an extent, is kind of a very lonesome game. Because you're, as just Gordon, just, like, going through all these different places in Black Mesa, and it's kind of, like part of the fear. Yeah. Yeah, like you meet other people, but usually they either die or like you leave them pretty fast, or they try and kill you. And so you're part of the fear of the Half-Life games is the fact that you're basically alone for the majority of it. But Half-Life, but the AI, and you know, in the early 2000s, one of the big machinima series was Freeman's Mind, which completely impacted internet like history and whatnot from that, but it still did not really change the idea that Gordon Freeman's alone when he's going through all this. It just gave him a voice. Whereas Half-Life VR, but the AI is self-aware, kind of completely changed that, so it became, now he's not alone anymore. He's with several crazy AIs. Like, there is still like a horror aspect to it, but it's now very different. The vibe is very different. It's basically become like its own like separate experience from the original, which I think is kind of interesting. Yeah, I highly, highly recommend it. It's hilarious, it's well done, and there is some moments at the end that make you go, dang, that actually hit kind of hard. But yeah, it's a good time, and I can't wait till whenever they do a sequel, because they're planning to one day do a sequel for it. But basically, after we all, like, that series was made in 2020, but a lot of us only just watched it like this month. And so as I was saying, Angel and I were thinking like, oh, it would be cool if we could all do something like that for like VN night or something, like we do like a role-playing thing like that. But I've just been struggling to think of a game that would work the best for that scenario in a similar way that Half-Life did. And one of the things I thought of was Mirror's Edge, and I was like, nah. That's why I was thinking about all this, because I was like, Mirror's Edge is a cool game, but I don't think it would be good for this scenario with us having to, like, do all this platforming and stuff. I could easily see all of us getting really frustrated. And not only that, but the main character is a silent pro tag as well, so I kind of need a silent pro tag for it to work. Which is another thing I realized, was that most games don't have, like, if it's a female protagonist, the female protagonist isn't silent. Most silent pro tags are male pro tags.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very weird. Like, I never noticed it until I was thinking about games with silent protagonists, and I was like, wait, all the ones I can think of are all male. That's so weird. It's like playing, like, time to do a playthrough of Fear, but the point man is actually point woman. Let's go. Anyways,
Yeah, it's because the silent protag is silent so that you can identify with them, but only boys play games.
Yeah, only boys play video games. That's true. This is a fact of the ages. Anyways. The streets that used to be so boisterous are now silent. Everything is ground to a halt in nervous expectation, and only the blithesome wind squeaks the weather vanes while throwing fallen leaves underneath Richard's feet. As if charged by this unnatural silence, the Sanator moves quieter, but his steps are still echoing in the soggy twilight of the arcade. Yeah. Oh, that's why it was happening. Adam says, yeah, I had to restart a few times. Game crashed whenever I tabbed out. Yeah, oof. Oof. He'd be...
Some games don't like that.
Yeah. That is true. Or there's some games that also don't like you if you try and, like, do, like, window mode or whatever as well. They just immediately are like, nah. Like, that's the struggle with trying to stream some games. Like, I'll try and stream a game, and it'll just be a pain because in order to get to the other window, I have to leave the game window, but then the game window disappears because it doesn't like me leaving the window. And I'm like, ah! He'd be very surprised to meet someone else here. Richard stops for a moment, unable to believe his own eyes. In a narrow lane, a girl is playing with the leaves. Her bare feet and generally patched clothes betray her as a street urchin. How did she ever manage to find such an unsuitable playground? Hearing Richard's steps...
don't look like bare feet to me. But...
Yeah, it looks like she has socks on, at least. Hearing Richard's steps, she looks up, but doesn't even flinch. Could it be that no one had bothered to tell her the rumors about the Sanator's shadow? Morning, Crow Man. What a big nose you've got.
She looks a lot like the girl from his dream.
Yeah, she does.
What are you doing here, little girl? Were you begging here when the streets were cordoned off?
Despite Richard's formidable looks and his unfriendly tone, the waif doesn't seem to be afraid. I'm hiding. It's quiet and comfy here. Are your friends gone? Can I come with you instead?
It's a tainted place, and I'm visiting the dying. It's dangerous. What's your name? Have you got a place to stay until the end of the quarantine?
Does she even know this word? Quarantine? Well, regardless, her mournful tone sounds pretty convincing. Where could I stay? The hiding spots are scary. The Scarfer lurks around here. So we'll rather go with you, Crow, please. Oh, is that first choice?
I mean, you already know what we're gonna pick.
But...
Not gonna tell the first NPC to fuck off.
Yeah, it's like in a RPG game. You don't just go, oh... like a party member comes up to you, can I join you? No.
No.
Get out of here.
Shoot.
Shoot.
This is a solo run.
Yeah. I wonder if someone has ever done that with, like, playing an RPG and just went by themselves. Like, forget all the other NPCs. This is my game.
Especially in CRPGs, that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah, I bet it's, like, either as a challenge or just because NPCs may suck.
I do it sometimes just because it's a hassle controlling the whole party.
Yeah, that's understandable. But yeah, she definitely seems kind of suspicious, but...
Oh yeah, for sure. But...
Yeah, but we're definitely gonna let her follow us.
Oh yeah.
Inwardly appreciating the waif's courage, Richard asked her sternly.
Aren't you afraid of catching the plague? What if I touch you with my shadow?
Keep your shadow to yourself, Crow. What should I be afraid of? It would be worse if I stay alone and walk around the houses out of boredom.
I should really spank you, but how can I lay a hand on such a baby?
What kind of line is that? Richard throws up his arms, thinking to himself for a moment before continuing.
Sleeper forgive you. Let's go then. But don't follow me into the houses or I'll get angry.
Alright. I'll sit on the doorstep. And why is it you can go in, but I can't?
There's no spare crow head for you. Sorry.
Sanator's joke doesn't seem to have impact. The waif apparently takes it at face value. I don't want a crow's head. Would it save you, though? You think the Scarfer will be scared?
He must be scared of somebody, so why not us? We are the enemies of those like him, and our enmity has no quarter.
So the Scarfer's not alone? Whoa, that's scary. Don't stay inside for too long. What if they all come here at once? Yeah. Richard grunts skeptically, thinking to himself that it would be too easy. Yeah. Because then you could just, like, get them all at once instead of having to deal with the hassle of everything.
What nonsense. All at once? Honestly, I don't believe there even is one.
Ah, so you don't? Well, let's go then. He might show himself to you. Unexpected companion is the achievement we just got. What didn't they say it was Hein's house that they wanted us to check?
I've forgotten already.
Yeah, I think that was the one that we specifically were asked to check.
Alright.
I've saved as well, so there's that.
Cool.
So, Hein's house or one of the others?
Yeah, let's go for Hein then. Maybe they have some ketchup.
Yeah, see the tiger violets.
Ah, yes.
They talked about that. Tiger violets are quite conspicuous on the Heinz's window, just as Winfred had said. Richard hears voices inside, and that's already a reason to be happy. It seems a woman is telling some children off for something, and there are footsteps and laughter. Children not yet affected by the all-pervading terror. Yeah, I don't know why I said it. Yeah, no! No, the malady hasn't come here yet, but the scar's proven to be a reliable indication. Richard must knock and ask. Oh yeah, there's a scarf on the side. Merry people live here, kind ones. It would be a pity if they fell ill.
Avis says someone's seen a scarlet scarf on their house. This should be checked. We may save some lives.
The waif seems to be amazed by the news, despite recently assuring Richard herself that the Scarfer is real. Where could it come from? Who'd hang it? The Scarfer?
As if you haven't heard that the infected houses are marked with it. Many have seen it. Still, I don't know who hangs them. Maybe the plague itself. It's happened before. The Scarfer is not made up from nothing.
The indirect confirmation sparks Sill's curiosity. So it happened before. Can you tell me, Crow? How can a plague be alive?
I tell you, but then you won't sleep at night.
Guess you're pulling my leg, but I'm not a fool, just young. How can it be a living disease? I'd rather believe in a scarfer walking around. Oh boy. This is kind of close to the truth right there. Just several hundred more years later and the truth come out. Diseases are alive. Oof. Well...
No, it's the government.
Yeah. Some people do believe that.
They're coming to our houses injecting us with the Rona.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah. I mean, I guess, like, you could also argue about whether viruses are real, but that's a whole nother I mean, not real, but if viruses are alive is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Viruses are real, but I meant alive. But that's a
viruses
whole...
be real if our eyes aren't real.
Yeah, oh snap. The naive attempt at provocation moves the Sanator, but for the sake of appearances, he decides not to surrender so quickly.
Stay quiet for a bit, please. I'll check the house and then tell you if you must know.
After a few knocks, the curtains open and some frightened yet curious children stare at Richard. Someone fumbles with the lock behind the door and at last opens, but just a little, hesitating to let the scary guest in. Oh! It's her. It's her. What do you want, good brother? Also, I noticed when we clicked on this option, there was like a little like ching noise, so maybe this meant we picked the right option? I don't know. We'll have to see.
Or it's just like choice recorded.
Oh, okay, maybe.
I don't know. Are you all well then, Dan?
Thanks be to the sleeper, we are all right. No one is ill. The children have had their hands washed.
People say they've seen the Scarlet scarf, the mark of the plague, on your house. Do you know anything about that?
The woman's voice trembles as if she's ready to curse and swear or burst into tears. Oh, Elmo, protect us! We haven't seen anything like that. Maybe it's Grandpa's bed cap drying outside. There it is, the red one. Oh, it's a bed cap. Right there. Maybe.
Maybe. Indeed, it looks like that from afar. You might take it off though, so as to not call attention. It's a bad omen these days.
Yes, yes. I will do that right away. Who would have thought? The senator feels that something is not quite as it should be. That there's something apart from the plague that has frightened her.
Have you seen anything suspicious, by the way? Maybe someone breaking the quarantine?
And she's like, yes, that girl right there. He's like, well, besides her, she's okay, I guess.
Going around all the houses, sneezing through the window.
It's like, oh, how could this have happened? And you see the girl just like running around the plague people, just sneezing everywhere. It's like, how does this keep spreading? Oh yeah, that's our friend Syl over there. She's cool.
She's okay.
Oh, it was so scary last night. There were footsteps and wrestling, and it sounded like someone moaning. Must be the damned Scarfer dragging someone to the netherworld. Richard sighs, wanting to shield his mind from this nonsense.
Also marauders dragging sacks of loot.
How could anyone be brave enough to make sure? What if he looks back at you and then breaks into your house? The woman stammers, apparently imagining the scene in detail, and then picking up her courage, continues louder and grumpier. No, I myself won't look and won't let the children do so either. This is not the time for looking around.
Well, keep ye safe and sound.
May the sleeper keep you, good brother. In contrast to the polite farewell, the door immediately slams shut. People are not to be blamed for their superstitious fears. Even the Sanators themselves don't always know what brings maladies, and the commoners know much less. That's why Richard doesn't take offense to Miss Hine. Rather, he is glad that a possible casualty is averted for the moment. Yeah, I mean, again, this is another thing where it's like a lot of... Like, there's this kind of idea that there is truth to most superstitions. It's like people notice, like, a correlation with things, and so they come up with this idea of what it might be, and even though that's not actually what's going on, there is, like, truth to it just from, like, people drawing the conclusion, you know?
Yeah, people are, like, the human brain is all about, like, finding patterns and
yeah.
stuff. People want things explained.
Yeah, and so people notice that, hey, this person coming to my house usually ends up with people getting sick, and so maybe it's like their shadow or something is making us sick, when in reality it's probably the fact that these plague doctors are, you know, going into places where people are sick, and thus when they come and visit your house, they have all the toxins and stuff on them, so you end up getting in contact just by meeting them in person.
Yeah.
Waif dangling her feet waits for the senator while sitting on the step. And also, if there was an illness going around, you wouldn't see the senator anyway. So that's another thing too. When she catches sight of Richard, she smiles cunningly as if she knew that would end well.
You shouldn't sit on cold stones. You'll catch a cold and won't ever have children.
What? What is this line? You'll catch a cold and won't ever have children. What the heck? It's correlated? For a moment, Sil looks serious and sad, but she immediately returns to her common, sly shamelessness. Why should an orphan need children? You promised something, Gov. Do you remember?
If you get married, won't you stop being an orphan? Get up, or I won't tell you anything.
I love their dynamic so much. Tying she obeys, following the rules of his game. I'm getting up, alright. What about the living diseases, huh?
There are two kinds of those. The summoned ones sent by the Maleficars, and self-born or equitable ones. They're all spirits, ex-humans serving the plague. Oh, sorry, the hyphens are a bit weird.
Yeah.
They're all spirits, because it's like hyphen to break the line and insert something, but then the inserted part has a hyphen in it as well. Ex-humans serving the plague maiden, Melamiliar. Oh, that's the weird like, deity-like thing.
Yeah.
All are dangerous and blind, killing the guilty and the innocent indiscriminately. But if to banish the summoned illness isn't enough to kill the warlock that had casted it, the self-born one, on the other hand, will disappear when all the guilty are dead.
And you? You catch them? Richard only shrugs his shoulders in response.
Easy to say. We hunt Maleficars, and the self-born ones are stopped only by quarantine. If we don't let the guilty escape, they'll die sooner or later, and the others will be saved.
Don't you pity the people?
We pity them a lot, but do we have a choice? If they scatter, there won't be any respite from the plague. Thousands died like that in the past, and whole regions were deserted. Now it's all done otherwise. Science!
Science! Seems like the senator's boasting doesn't impress Sil. She only laughs in response. So that's how it is. Well, we'll see your science yet.
Aren't you brave, you little draggletail? You found a bubo... what? If you found a bubo on yourself, you'd run to the fortress right away. I guess that's like a boil or something.
Oh yeah, maybe. Oh, so I guess we get to see the other houses as well? Walder's or Wigmar?
One moment, I am googling bubo.
Heck yeah.
Oh, it's like a boil specifically for the bubonic plague.
Oh, so we are in the bubonic plague. Because I did think
the fantasy version.
Fantasy version of it. Yeah, like the symptoms sounded similar to me, like the specific symptoms that they were giving about like where exactly it was appearing on the body and stuff, and all the ooze and everything. Like it just reminded me of the bubonic plague.
Let's go to Wigmar.
Wigmar? Heck yeah. The chalk-drawn cross can be seen on the door from afar, marking the house emptied by the plague. Richard stops at the entrance, pondering the situation. What could a scarlet scarf on an already death-marked house mean? Maybe somebody was hiding inside and has now become ill? Have you guys been here yet? Have you guys been here yet? Left someone behind?
No, we never do that. They won't board up the healthy ones. Maybe we got the wrong house.
It's not wrong. Look, the scratches on the door are fresh, not from nails. The waif's remark catches the Sanator off guard. Until the last moment, he hadn't wanted to believe that someone really would go around stealing things from the infected quarter.
Well, oh, these stupid people.
The boards used by the morticians to close up the door have been surreptitiously detached. No need to guess who it could be. The marauders, fools wishing to steal valuables from infected houses, counting on dumb luck.
You'd better hide, girl. Who knows what's on their minds now? They may still be in there.
And you, Crow? Call your brethren.
These thieves could flee while I look for help. No, I won't back off, but you can run and call the guards.
Seems the Sanator's courage does not boost Still's confidence. What if they kill you in there?
A man can die but once. I'm a brother, after all. We don't die that easy. Now run.
The broken door creaks pitifully, letting the beak-faced doctor in. He has left his grip slack near the entrance, and now he holds his faithful cane in both hands, ready to meet the desperate marauders or the Scarfer himself. But these precautions prove quite unneeded. Richard can see a semi-supine figure by the open dresser. Nearly an open sack with some belongings lies abandoned. Apparently, it won't be of use to the thief anymore. The Senator approaches the wretch cautiously, but the pool of blood around him indicates that the man is surely dead. His face is twisted with deadly terror, and his pose shows that he was surprised by someone. But who could that be? The malady developed so rapidly that he could hardly sit up. The Senator finds a candle end in the kitchen and carefully examines the body. Each day, the malady seems to grow more virulent, killing its victims ever faster, and Richard knows that diseases don't normally work like this. At least the ordinary diseases don't. After making sure that the dead body bears no signs of assault and that any accomplices have fled, the Senator leaves the twice-cursed house. He must inform the brethren at the fortress. Maybe the acolytes will have time to prepare this body for the evening autopsy. Richard has no doubts that it must be done. Now he has to calm down the guards. Minute after minute passes, and there is still nobody on the street. No whistles, no clatter of rough boots on the pavement. Has something happened to the girl? Has she been caught? The waif is alive and apparently sound. She sits in the same lane where Richard found her the first time, her face in her knees, and she seems to be sobbing. Could the guards have offended the waif? Certainly one could have pushed her with the butt end of his spear. What could be simpler? No one would intercede for her, and she can't protect herself. Hearing Richard's steps, she raises her eyes and smiles timidly. She is glad to see the Senator in one piece.
Hey, you alright? Why didn't the guards come?
Still answers, swallowing her tears and trying to smile. Your guards are fools! They didn't even listen to me, but you're alive! Alive! Wait, that's you.
Of course I'm alive. Those guys had already fled, at least some of them.
And those who didn't?
One's lying in there. We'll collect him for autopsy by the evening. Well, don't repeat his mistake. Don't go into the houses.
Seems the incident has impressed her enough to stop joking around. No, I won't. It's better outside. The Senator looks at the waif's patched clothes and realizes that he must do something for her. Not so many little girls can confront him like that after all.
You'll be really cold at night. I'll bring you something to eat.
Don't trouble yourself, kind crow. You have a lot going on anyway. Good people will feed me, as always. As long as the quarter is quarantined, Syl can't get out. Did he make sure that she won't be driven out from whatever shelter she might find? Yes, perhaps, later.
If that's so, then may Sleeper save you.
May he save you, Crow. Richard goes to the guards' outpost, about to tell them off for neglecting their duties. It's one thing to play dice when the streets are quiet, but it's quite another to drive away a child who's asking for help, not to mention the interests of the Brotherhood, which are being affected too. But his anger is met with incomprehension. Richard chaffs and drives the pavement with his stick. The guards just stare at each other and shrug their shoulders. From the start of the morning, there was not a soul on the streets. No waves, no little girls calling to help, but the Senator wouldn't believe them at a different time, but now he backs off. The guards seem to not be lying. Could the girl have lost her courage and just lied to him about coming up to the guards? She indeed might have. Most likely the poor thing was sitting there blaming herself for cowardice, thinking that the senator might get killed because of her.
Something's telling me she's not real.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. She's not real.
I think she's like a manifestation of that woman in his mind or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Well, all's well that ends well. He shouldn't return to scold her, should he? Richard must report back to the fortress before continuing vain labors at the hospital. More fruitless efforts to retain the lives trickling from dying bodies, trying again and again, failing again and again, until the sun hides behind the pointing roofs and the cool breeze of the evening brings a short respite to the patients desperately gasping for air. Hi, Solaru. Welcome to the stream. How's it going?
Hello.
And yeah, the kid is sus. Oh, well, guess the last place is just... forget about that place, who cares? Twilight forever reigned under the dank mortuary's vaulting.
It used to be a normal word at some point.
Yeah, it was a normal word, but now it's associated with something else.
First it was ruined by weed and then by memes.
Yeah. Even at the brightest noon, the sun rays heartily pierced the narrow windows on the thick stone walls. Smoky tarry torches attempted to bring in light, all in vain, as they were only blackening the mildewed stones, weeping with condensation. But how it would all change on a moonlit night. This room was built ages ago, in the times of the Allure, when there was no Tenteria and no human cities. Now a bright ray of light falls right in the middle of the hall, gathered by a system of mirrors cunningly hidden inside the walls. It is usually crowded here today. A number of figures in official Sanator outfits surround a low marble pedestal where a body lies, with its arms limply spread, prepared for an autopsy by the attendant morticians. The body looks even whiter in the moonlight, resembling a marble statue, and the scarlet cracked wounds look even more unnatural upon it. This looks kind of high-tech.
Yeah, I think these what's the Allure they're talking about, are some sort of high-tech race or civilization that lived before humans.
Yeah. Makes sense. So we got some sci-fi stuff going on here too. I still can't get over the fact that they're called the Saint Elmo brothers.
I mean, there's a Saint Elmo in real life.
Yeah, but I just immediately think of Elmo's here.
Tickle me Elmo.
Yeah, I had one of those toys. I had like a giant Elmo toy when I was young that would like talk and stuff. I don't think it was the tickle one, but he did talk. Like you would press a button and he would say stuff. I think I gave it away though, because I don't have it anymore. Their voices merged with the crackling torches, filling the room with a low hum like a disturbed beehive. Today, all who gathered are one way or another involved in the unfolding war with the epidemic. Yet there comes in the moonlight the gold gleam of a surgical knife, and all conversation abates, giving way to the firm, confident voice of the dissector leading the autopsy.
The subject is male, about 20 years old, of regular build, emaciated. Livorus mortis on the face, clavicle, internal thigh surfaces.
I like the gear on his, like this necklace gear thing. I like the fact that they managed to make it so that all the people technically have like these uniforms, but they all wear kind of different versions of the same uniform, so you can tell like who's who. Like they're all wearing different like headscarves and stuff and other things on the outfit to make it unique for each person. I like that.
Yeah.
The neck Oh yeah, this is you. I'm sorry. Yeah.
The neck, chest, and abdomen are covered by the characteristic cracks inherent to the current epidemic. Presumed cause of death, extensive inner hemorrhage. Pay attention to the face. Silence, please. Note the facial expressions of abject horror. Possibly pre-Exodus hallucinations. Commencing sectio transversalis.
The blade silently slides through the body, opening it like a horrible flesh bud. The dissector dilates the cut. He bends down to the corpse, nearly touching it with his beak as if he's going to feast on the remnants like the real crows do.
Cracks inherent to the disease can be observed on the viscera too. Multiple lesions of the stomach and bowel, solar plexus pulverized.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
No.
That sounds terrible. The voice of the dissector gets drowned out by the rising ruckus. The senators simply can't contain themselves. Ordinary maladies cannot kill so fast. What formerly was but a guess to be proven is now presented to everyone in a clear, unambiguous manner.
Disruption of the heart bursa, heart wall. Quarantine the town immediately. Send word. We must return all those who left in the past few weeks. It's a plague spirit, the Kadrat.
The mortuary fills with disturbed voices, sounds of footsteps, and the rustle of clothes. Brothers hurry to give orders that may ruin hundreds of lives, but save thousands. The orders are followed by the foreboding words, the spirit, the Kadrat. The entire region will be roused. Outposts of crossbowmen will block the roads, and both mounted and foot patrols will move along the forest paths. No one in Rastad will leave Rastad until the spirit claims its own. I see. I wonder if she's, like, maybe... She could also be, like, a manifestation of some, like, part of the disease or something, too.
Maybe, yeah.
Wait, I wonder if there's... Let's see... Blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to see if there's, like, a thing that says... Ooh, that's cool. Cat girls.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Alright.
So the Owler is still here, they're just not where humans are, it seems.
Yeah, they've been sort of driven off by humans, it seems.
Yeah. I was not expecting cat people to be a thing in this universe, but I guess it is.
They are now.
Yeah. This is like the opposite of, there's this, so, you probably know about Nitro Plus and their, subsidiary Nitro Plus Chiral. They're the people who did Dramatical Murder and all that stuff. One of the games that they did was called Lamento Beyond the Void. And in that game, it was like the opposite, where humans were like the progenitors that used to exist, but they know, like, they kind of died out, and now the only people left are cat people. Bleak-headed figures disappear through dark archways until a lone dissector remains by the bodies, continuing to open the flesh, extracting the answers to the malady. For what point could there be intending the ill without fully knowing the cause? But there may be a hint in the way the Kadrat kills, a secret which will lead the brothers to their target. I was looking to see if there was like a thing on the Kadrat that could give more description, but I didn't see any in there.
It's a type of spirit, I guess.
Yeah. The exhausted senator returns home well past midnight. So much has been done, and only the sleeper knows if they've missed something important. Have they missed the way, the chance to save Rastad from ruin? In the weak light of an oil lamp, Richard stays motionless for a moment in the dimly lit, dusty shed, trying to calm his fearful heart, breathe in, breathe out. Now that his hands are trembling no more, he can take off the heavy coat steadily to avoid touching the wet, glossy tar. It doesn't matter that the acolytes have washed the plague off him at the fortress. It doesn't matter that the scarlet scarf is not passed by touch. The rules must be followed. No senator knows how many times his life has been saved by the instructions that have become his second nature. But a violation of these instructions kills, and it kills suddenly.
Yeah, I'm guessing this spirit is probably the soul that we saw in the third prologue bit.
Oh,
When,
yeah, the one that
introduced
was
this,
like crying and
plague
stuff.
god or whatever.
Yeah. To talk to the plague god and stuff, yeah. The night chill makes him shiver after the heavy, humid soup, but Richard does not hurry into the house. Sniffling from the cold, he washes off the remnants of the protective ointment, splashing out the rainwater onto the grass. His feet ache from tiredness, making him get to bed as soon as possible and fall asleep. And even when the senator falls on the pitifully creaking bed, he can't afford a long rest. This night, he has to talk to the shadow, to his faithful Anya. She might notice something he's missed. Oh. I see. So it's like... Huh.
I feel like it's like a spirit bound to him in the surface or something. Maybe.
Yeah. I guess
I don't know if that's a normal thing for Sanators or is it just him.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe it's in Brotherhood. Blah blah blah, deals with matters, but of the plate, supernatural blights, monsters, blah blah blah. Oh, other things also work under the Brotherhood, like the hospitals and stuff. That's cool. Mm-hmm. Doesn't say. Oh, it's cool that they give like what each of the things are made as well.
Yeah.
Oh, here! The Sanator's Shadow. The Sanator's Shadow can cause grievous wounds to those it touches, and to give their shadows a longer reach. Senators wear wings on their backs, hollow metal pipes decorated with long black feathers. To protect senators from smoke and poison, special masks are made. Such equipment is not So I guess it's a thing.
It's a new sort of equipment, I guess.
Yeah. Wee. The dream meets Richard with a familiar twilight, with a maze of walls and aisles branching out into a boundless space. The shapes of inner dwellers slither on the verge of visibility. One only has to concentrate, and the nocturnals will hide from the gaze that destroys their bodies, too fragile in their shapelessness. And to think that once he was totally unable to find his way here. Richard moves through the intricate passages of the inner labyrinth towards the light and the tinkling of bells. Anya's chambers lay deep, and the senator has time to think about the questions he wants to ask the wayward shadow. What to say and what to pass over in silence. Despite their consanguinity, both have their secrets and their own hidden agendas. There she is! The shadow's cenacle has no doors, but he stops at the entrance as usual, asking for permission to enter with a mere glance. Anya likes this little courtesy, and Richard can afford it. The shadow meets him as she often would, turning aside resentfully with her hands in heavy chains defiantly exposed. Richard can see a mischievous sparkle in her eyes as she is reading the reaction of her guest. All is well.
Oh, you're going to shame me again, Anya.
The shadow casts an eye on him, full of hidden hope, and her chains tinkle like little bells. Are you trying to reassure me again, Richard? Calm me down while you stand before me with the very key to my chains in your hands?
What an actress. If only I'd unweave the seals, we'd swap our roles at once. And what kind of chains are you preparing for me, Anya?
Inga screws her face into a smile, magnetizing the Sanator with her promising gaze. I was never taught to love otherwise. And what about you? Do you still heal those whose time is already measured and whose days are numbered?
We will all be carried away by the wind someday, but it's not the reason to refuse salvation to those who can still be caught.
The Sanator's answer angers her. The shadow rises in her seat as if trying to catch his shoulders and shake him in a desperate attempt to make her point. They loathe you, blind man. Why are you so naive? They tremble when they see your cloak. They shut their doors and shutters. They're afraid to touch your very shadow.
I wouldn't blame them for the latter, though.
Inga twitches as if she was slapped. She subsides and freezes. Then, with an impeccable movement, she slides out of her chained body, leaving it seated like a gutless puppet, reappearing so close that Richard feels the heat of her breath. The Senator doesn't budge. Long past are the times when the Shadow's tricks could frighten him or catch him off guard. Whenever Anya does, the key from her chains is always firmly held in his fist. Possessing it means both bliss and torment, and Richard doesn't know whether he will be able to maintain self-control until his very end. Anya whispers, her lips nearly touch Richard's ear, and her words touch his heart with anguish. Say you came here just for me. Say you have no questions for me today. He pretends to be cold. He has no right to fall for her tricks.
Do you remember my promise, never to lie to you? I keep my word.
Your words cut deeper than your knives, Richard. Are you suffering because of a stranger's troubles again? Trying to save those who have imprisoned my sisters?
Look at it from a different angle. Doesn't my help delay their fall into the sea?
Where does the doomed one suffer more? On the scaffold or in prison, dying in his thoughts again and again? Richard speaks softly, but he is adamant under his softness.
They are asleep, Anya. Asleep. Your awakening is an exception. We've discussed this before.
Inga sighs theatrically and abruptly turns away, slapping his face with her hand. Heck yeah. So I guess typically they have like shadows, but they're not awake, I guess.
Yeah.
And so she's like an exception to being actually awake or something.
Yeah, I guess the others don't like commune with their shadows like he does.
Yeah. I can't even have a talk with you. Ask then. Don't keep me in suspense. Richard sighs tiredly and sits down by the wall, starting his story. The memory obligingly awakens the day's earlier happenings. The barricade, the waif, living in dead houses, the sick, the hospital, the autopsy. The words flow and flow, and a charmed Anya listens to the story about the world she wishes so much to get into one day.
I'm fraught with doubt, Anya. It feels like I'm missing a detail. Something irritating like an eye floater. Maybe you can catch something I couldn't.
Your doubts are not unreasonable. Today you touched upon something very important for this plague. You did something meaningful. A new path between our dream and the fourth house wouldn't have appeared without reason. The disease walks around, scampering about your feet like a greyhound. Beware. Don't miss the moment when she pounces to dig your teeth into your throat. She wants to say more, stretches out her hand to him, but... A knock at the door, fast, frightened. Knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. His head aches. The shade sleep doesn't let the body rest. One of the dues that must be paid for an intimate interaction with other places of reality. Let me see. See that. Shade sleep. Where is it? Oh, dream. Let's see. Okay, so
That's a lot of info.
yeah, there's so much info. Also, so there's something about like the shadow. It says here, few creatures live long enough for their shadows to awaken. This event transforms them into a completely new state that can be considered perfect. Alright. So, but he seems like a regular human, so I don't know. I'm very confused.
It's kind of like a sort of enlightenment sort of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
This could be a cool setting for a role-playing game.
Richard lingers, gathering himself up to find out what the persistent guest wants. He presses his cold fingers to his temples, driving off the ache for a time. Knock, knock, knock.
What you want?
The senator knows the answer already. Half awake, he mistook the bell tolling outside for the aftershocks of his night visions. Its slow, hollow clangs echo in his heart. A frightened voice behind the door only confirms his fears.
This must be...
Yeah, this must be the old lady. The plague is spreading, brother Sanator. The fortress is shut. The central quarters are closed off by the quarantine cordons. All doctors who aren't ill yet are summoned. You aren't ill, are you?
I'm coming. Brush off already.
There is no food behind the door. Is old Martha ill or has she fled, hoping to hide from the march of the pestilence? Oh, so I guess it wasn't her. It was some random person.
I think it was another senator. Probably.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. He'll have time to eat later. I guess it's an old lady senator. There we go. Now he must hurry. If it's as bad as the messenger said, soon Restat will be overtaken with panic and chaos. Yo. Richard knows that the ravens carrying grim orders from the enclosed fortress are flying to the local settlements. Even if the brothers can't keep the citizens within the stone trap of the town walls, they would still have nowhere to run. The street is abandoned and lifeless. The shutters are firmly shut and doors are closed, but the senator feels scratched by dozens of frightened stares through the sundry cracks and narrow attic windows. And all the more unexpected is the diminutive shape of the lonely waif still trudging towards him. Still looks tired and weak, even more pitiable than yesterday. Her rags are tainted with something and her eyes shine feverishly. She peers at the houses tensely as if looking for something, and when she sees Richard, she greets him with a wave of her hand. Crow, you here again?
And you're still wandering about, sleepless eyes, my dear, aren't you sap-headed? Look around, the pestilence is here. Someone could go mad with fear and harm you somehow.
This rather innocent remark causes a storm of emotions in Syl. She raised her hands as if pushing something back and sniffles pitifully, clenching her fists and holding them near her lips. I think we should continue with this. Take care of her. We're her dad now. Let's go. Dad Richard.
Her beautiful orphan daughter.
Yeah, our beautiful orphan daughter. Let's go. Take care of her. Oh, it says achievement unlocked. We are all human, is what it says. I wonder what...
Not all of us are human.
Yeah. We'll see what all this does. The senator stands in front of Syl at a loss, amazed by his own thoughts. What is the current price of this waif's life, after all? How many little girls are suffocating in pain now, trying to breathe in a way that won't disturb the horrible Scarlet Scarf's marks? But the look of Syl, who's nearly crying, doesn't let him just go away. What can he do in town, after all? Must he put to sleep a few more scores of citizens? All will be in vain. The Brotherhood is losing this battle, so why shouldn't they just let the Scarf finish it? He must care for the living, not for the dead, even if the dead can still move and breathe. Richard gathers his thoughts and speaks up kindly, trying to calm Syl down.
If you have nowhere to go, you You can live with me for a while. We'll find a place for you after the plague, so you'll be alright.
She looks at him mistrustfully, as if gauging his sincerity, and then asks quietly, "Can I really? Are you trying to trick me, Crow?"
You seem to think I have some indecent plans.
The suggestion somehow makes Syl smile. "No way you could. If you were one of those, you'd have tried to do it all yesterday."
Do you even know what I'm talking about? Or what you're talking about?
"You should be ashamed to ask a woman about those things, Crow." "Well, where is your home?" Whoop. Richard wants to scold her, but stops. The streets make children age fast. It's better not to think about it.
You're calling yourself a woman, Pimple. Better stay quiet and follow me.
I'm coming, just don't get angry." Syl waits patiently for Richard while he takes off his outfit, which has had no time to warm up on him. He has calmed down and cheered up a bit after his invitation, but is still sniffling, either from the cold or swallowing the tears that remained hidden. "You look different without your beak, Crow."
Are you surprised? We're all humans, even if we wear masks.
He thinks about it for a few moments, only answering Richard after a while. "All humans. Yes, maybe. Are you cold, perhaps?" Yeah, she's not human.
No way she's human.
Yeah, our little plague daughter, I guess. Please don't kill us. We've been nice to you.
Or maybe she's hiding cat ears. Who knows?
Oh, she could be a cat. Oh, you're right. She could be one of the cat people.
They would have given her a hat, I think.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Ask the girl standing barefoot on cold stone. Come in, it's warm inside.
Wait, did I save before? Yeah, I did. Wanted to make sure. Perching on a chair, Syl looks around Richard's room with interest, but doesn't touch anything. Meanwhile, Richard rummages downstairs, collecting the food left in the house on a tray. Soon he appears in the doorway carrying a simple breakfast, bread, cheese, and a jar of honey he found in the cellar.
The pot is heating, so we'll drink something hot soon. Do have a bite.
Syl turns aside, answering quietly. "I don't want..."
Are you ill? How could it be that you don't want to eat?
"I've been fed."
Don't be shy, come on. Here's some honey. Take as much as you'd like.
It's strange, but here at Richard, she rapidly becomes serious and withdrawn, like an animal caught in a cage. "You're a good man, Crow. I shouldn't have come to you."
Nonsense, you can eat later. You'll surely want to.
Richard sits on his bed, stretching his tired legs and leaning against the warm wall. His eyelids are getting heavy, but falling asleep without deciding where to put up Syl would be an unforgivable weakness. She's just sitting there looking at him, not willing to touch the food. What has she seen in the cruel backyards of the town? Why is she acting so strangely?
Your name is Syl, right? I'm Richard. Brother Richard Murdoch.
Yes, but I'll still call you Crow. Richard raises his hands peacefully, smiling.
Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. I'm not touchy. How long have you lived on the streets?
No, I just can't find my home. I'm walking around, peeking in windows, asking.
You seem to be in deep water. Why didn't you go to the fortress or the town hall? Someone must be looking for you, no?
Why should I go there? I wasn't living there, and they're not looking for me. Perhaps they're even hiding from me. I wonder... So, I guess she's the spirit, right?
Yeah.
Something doesn't add up, but could the wave have a strange story? She's not the first to be abandoned by their parents, too poor to feed their children.
What kind of parents do you have that would hide from their own daughter? And a house is big, not a thing to hide in the pocket.
I have no parents, but I'll find my home anyway. I'll try hard.
Now is not the best time for searching. The town will soon go insane. I can't ensure your safety then. Hopeless people are capable of doing horrible things.
Syl frowns as if she's going to cry. But but I must keep looking, or I may run out of time. Oh, wait, it just hit me. Remember what they said about the spirit? They said that there's nothing they can really do except wait for the spirit to find its intended.
Yeah.
So that's probably what she's looking for, is like the one like
sense.
person or something that she has to like reach. So I'm guessing, yeah. Our poor Richard boy accidentally adopted a plague. Wah wah.
Tell me about this house, Sil. Maybe I know it or I've seen it.
The butcher's house. I was a servant there. Which one? My head is swimming. A tall one, made of stone, with a heavy door and a big cellar.
Uh-oh.
Syl shudders from her memories. Richard's face hardens with each of her words, and he has a baleful gleam in his eye. He feels that he has come close to some terrible secret, a witness to something that needs a special brotherhood's attention.
Don't be afraid. They won't find you here. It was they who mistreated you.
I'm not afraid anymore. Whatever they've done seems so immaterial now. I like the gloves that she has. The fingerless gloves. I want those. That's cool.
Then show me your neck.
Richard! Still looks up with a twinkle in her eye, smiling somehow coyly, as if about to accuse the Sanator of conspiring to possess her. But she's met with a cold stare, as sharp as a surgical knife, making her fall silent. And then slowly, as if ashamed, Syl pulls back the rags covering her neck. The carmine, bloody scarf flutters in the humanly imperceptible wind. The first who dares to break the oppressive silence is Syl. You knew everything from the very beginning, didn't you? Yeah, so she's definitely the Scarlet Scarf person that everyone's been talking about.
Yeah.
The Senator's voice is calm again, calm in the same way as when he talks to Anya. But his manner in speaking his words gives Richard away.
No, I could have guessed, but in the end I didn't. I wanted to believe. In an orphan who's not afraid of your...
Oh yeah, an orphan who's not afraid of your shadow.
That's yours.
Yeah, having a family is not our custom, but no one forbids taking apprentices. Oh wait, no, that is you.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
Having a family is not our custom, but no one forbids taking apprentices. You could have become a doctor, perhaps.
Yeah, he really wanted to adopt her. Oh, poor Richard. We tried to give you a daughter, but it wasn't to be. Yeah. No, maybe she could still become our daughter. Believe in the dream.
Somehow. We have Anya already, so maybe she can. Maybe.
Yeah, she'll become part of the squad as well. Let's go. The whole team. Are you going to try killing me? They say brothers can hurt spirits just like the living. This is you.
Oh yeah, tell me everything. Even if we have to fight later, your tormentors will be punished. I want justice.
Okay, so here's what I think happened. So she was a real girl. Because they said that the spirits are ex-humans. So it seems what happened is that she was with like these abusers and she died because of their abuse. Yeah. And then in her afterlife, like she was, you know, kind of tormented by the pain that their actions had caused, which led her to meeting the Lady Milliard, who promised to get revenge on like the people who did it. And so now she's back in the town and it's causing the disease because it's like retribution for what happened to her.
Yeah.
Still looks at him in amazement, as if hearing something unexpected. Justice. Don't you protect all good men of Tenteria? All good men. See, it's right there in the line. Apparently whoever was there was not a good guy. Yeah,
Good
there it
ones,
is.
Will. Only the good ones. Now tell me, time is running out.
Syl tells him softly, sometimes pausing for a moment to hold her tears back. I was born in a hamlet by the Morlehorn swamps. The butcher took me in as a servant. No, perhaps he bought me from my parents when I was very young. It seems even funny now to complain about the shouting, the beatings, the cold, and the lumber room under the staircase. But it felt very hard and unfair at the time. Sometimes I saw guests coming in by the back door. They all went to the cellar and shut the door firmly. The guests went home in the morning, and they always lacked one or two. Uh-oh.
It's like a cult or something.
Yeah, or like human trafficking, maybe, or something. What could I understand back then? The first time I tried to escape, the drunken master caught me near the lumber room and tried to— Oh no! And then the next day, his wife burned my back with a poker. Then I learned what the guests were doing in the cellar. One of them left a knife beside me, and night by night I loosened the stones in the old brickwork from where the breeze was blowing. When they caught me the second time, they wouldn't leave me alive. The guests were looking on as the butcher flayed me. Oh, so they were killing people in there, and I guess using the meat from people for the butcher.
Maybe.
That's fricked up.
It's just some sort of like, I don't know, sick cult.
Oh yeah, it could be a cult as well. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, it was very bad.
I was still alive when he took hold of my bleeding neck and pulled my skin down to my— Oh! So that's why there's the idea of the scarf, the red scarf, and why it's focused on the neck so much. Was because of that trauma. Ugh. Don't like that. Don't like that mental image.
No.
Sarah's
Then
voice.
that's some skill though, to do it all in one move.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Oh my god. The senator's voice is terrifying. Now he really sounds like the one that scares naughty children into line. Oh, it is a cult.
Yeah. The cult of Ragazon, right under our nose at that. Syl, now your tormentor will learn much more about pain in the Executor's dungeons than you ever did.
Heck yeah. Richard's a cool dude.
Yeah.
No, Mistress Miliar made a deal with me. Each day of my search is paid with innocent blood. If I don't kill the butcher in a week, then I'll become a real Kadrat, another one in the courts of the Plague Maiden. Oh, interesting. So now I guess we gotta help her find the person then. I wonder, like, what would have happened if we didn't do all this? Like, if we didn't choose to stay with her and stuff.
It seems so integral to the story.
Yeah, it seems really integral that we're with her, so it seems kind of weird that there's a possibility to reject her.
I guess you'd still run into her somewhere else, but it would be, like, less amicable, I guess.
Yeah, like, I'm wondering if it'll be, like, the difference between getting the good or bad ending, I'm guessing.
Maybe, yeah.
If there is, like, multiple endings. I actually don't know. Let me check. Store page. Let's see. Does it say? By the legend of the Plague Maiden. With the fate of Sanator Richard Murdoch in your hands.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Let's play through it first before we get any spoilery stuff or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's 4 different endings.
Okay.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know, was if there were multiple endings. I mean, it would make sense. We should avenge her. I want to avenge her.
Let's do the good guy playthrough.
Yeah, good guy playthrough. Yeah, let's go.
Of course, this is the chaotic good. Lawful, of course, would be
Very different.
She is also like a plague spirit.
Yeah, so
Revenge
we're
is
going
costing
for
lives of hundreds or thousands.
yeah, we're going for the right good, the one that I always go for, which is the chaotic good.
Yeah.
Let's go. Wait, first I'm gonna move off this page so it doesn't take more of my bandwidth. Agree to avenge Syl. Let's go.
And still you came to me. Did you realize how the plague maiden tricked you?
Syl turns aside, sobbing, and hides her face in her palms, not wanting to show her weakness. I'd forgotten their faces, and the house too. I had to forget everything, but I couldn't. Nella's caress awoke my memory. Richard is not shouting, but his accusations fall in silence like heavy stones.
You strike right and left, kill the innocents, aiming at your tormentors blindly. What have you become, Syl? What is the difference between you and the guests who came to torture you? Damn.
Kill me, Richard. I know you won't rest until my vengeance is done. The Senator knows that the Kadrat is crushed. The force leading her vengeance could not withstand the unexpectedly awakened conscience. But he asked the last question to end it all.
Do you really want it? You must know, if you have any doubts, my strike will banish you, but it won't kill.
I hate what I've become, brother. Thirst for revenge gnaws at my insides like a tireless worm. Take it from me, and I'll have no more reasons to exist. Richard nods in agreement. Its stiletto has been long hidden in his clenched hand. Its blade, forged from metal fallen from the sky, can cut the bodies of those unafraid of the honest steel. Syl steps to him, taking off her scarf. She wants to say something, perhaps to say goodbye, but the Senator is merciful. The stiletto sting goes through her without the slightest resistance, and an astonished expression stays on her face as it vanishes into thin air. Richard sits for a long time, squeezing the scarf so tightly that his knuckles go white. He shakes his head and gets up. He knows that all around town his brethren are seeing how the blood stops leaking from the never-healing cracks on the bodies of the afflicted. Oh wait, are we at an ending? What?
I mean, we still have to, like, go and find the butcher.
Yeah, we gotta find the butcher, but this feels very like we're getting close, at least.
Yeah, I did see that the game was pretty short, right?
Yeah. We might actually be able to finish it in one stream.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's getting close to the
See.
end for me, yeah.
Yeah, many of them will still die, and they won't be the last victims of the Scarlet Scarf. So I'm guessing, like, probably one of the endings is that everyone freaking dies because we don't find out what was causing this.
Possible, yeah.
The butcher living in his big house with a deep cellar will be found soon. The next ones will be his guests, and those who sold them the children, those who taught them to rejoice in the pain of others. Until the last one of them falls, the Brotherhood does not unclench its jaws if they happen to latch onto someone's throat.
That might be an ending then.
Yeah. The gears of the mechanism begin to spin. 1 week later, the executors found the butcher's house. He was denying everything, but a meeting with Richard broke him like a straw. He was executed in the square in front of a huge crowd using one of the most spectacular methods, excommunication for the sleeper. But before that, he had given up his accomplices. A lot of them were rich and influential, but not sufficiently enough to stop the rotating flywheel of the Brotherhood. The strings extended. I like the fact that he kept her scarf the entire time as well. The strings extended every which way, pulling new persons in the light, and Richard was merciless. He left the Senator's ranks and transferred to the executors, but even there, his zeal began to seem suspicious with time. His men said that when he was alone, he would talk to the Scarlet Scarf, which he always had with him. 3 years later, Richard Murdoch went missing while chasing a group of cultist outlaws all by himself in the quagmires of the Zeximmersh. Whether he perished in the featured bog, was shot with an arrow from an ambush, or finally lost his sanity remains unknown. Though in the lost villages of swamp dwellers, there's a strange tale about a hermit called the Scarlet Scarf, but that's a story for another time. Oh, we did it! Quenchless Wrath is the one we got there. Woo! That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to beat it in one sitting, but we did it.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the best ending we could have gotten.
I don't know. It seemed pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe second best, I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, it must be the best, because like the other option was like to trick her, and then tricking people was never good.
Yeah, tricking people isn't really
leads to a
good.
ending.
Yeah, she would probably just hate us after that or something.
Yeah. Or
Even though it
yourself.
might save her from disappearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know enough about how the lore, like I understand now more than at the start, but there's still a lot about the lore of this universe that I don't completely understand, so I don't know what that would have done to her over time. Because it seemed like there was like a time limit for her.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa! Oh, look!
Yeah. It's unlocked stuff.
Whoa! So, we got one there. And I guess we have here our main character guy. We also have our shadow lady.
Yeah, it's Anya, I think.
Yeah, Anya. The Scarlet Start will be completed only after all the game ending. Oh!
Alright, so maybe next week we can try and go through the other ones.
Yeah, so I guess there's like a true ending that you only unlock once you do all the other endings. Okay, makes sense. So just a singular playthrough isn't very long, but it seems the rest are a bit longer.
Alright. Well, we can do that next week, I think.
Yeah. Wait, there's hints.
That was fun.
Wait. Only after all the game endings are unlocked. Oh yeah, there's a skip mode.
Oh, okay. That's useful. Then probably next time we can get through all the endings, through all the routes, I guess.
Oh wait, look!
Skip mode.
Look. Access to various choice options depends on the decisions taken by you earlier. So there may be different choices depending on whether you do something at one point or another.
Alright.
Oh yeah, that's cool. We've done it though for now.
Yeah, it's really cool. Very well made.
Yeah.
I like this. It's like not very long, but it's very polished.
Yeah.
I prefer that over like long but kind of hastily made games.
Yeah, it's true. And also, yeah, it's like you can tell that everything's there deliberately. Like there's no like filler. Like a lot of visual novels have like long periods of filler where you're kind of sitting there going like, we don't really need to see this part. Whereas this kind of constantly is,
don't really do anything.
yeah. Whereas this is like always kind of like only showing what needs to be shown, basically.
Yeah.
And the art style, of course, is really good. And I like all the
Yeah,
animations
for sure.
and stuff that they added to it as well.
The atmosphere and the music.
Yeah. Very good. But yeah, thanks for joining again, Rolf.
Yeah, it was
I've
fun.
missed you a lot. Thanks
Aw.
for hanging out.
I think maybe I'll be on more, but it depends.
Yeah, no worries. As always, don't ever feel like it's a must be here sort of thing. Just whenever you can and whenever you feel like it, you know.
Yeah, I want to try it for sure next week, because I'm gonna make use of those precious daylight saving.
Heck yeah.
2 week period.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna head off, but thanks for having me.
Heck yeah, no probs. I love you very much. Get some good sleeps, and I'll see you next time.
See ya.
Oh boy. But yeah, let's stop streaming here, and we'll possibly continue this game next week. I'm really loving it so far. Thanks to Lulu for sharing this awesome game. I've been loving it a lot. And possibly next Saturday will be more Core Keeper, we'll see. But, until then, let's see who we shall raid. Who's live right now is the question. A lot of people are live actually right now. I haven't raided Sinnoh in a long time, so let's raid Sinnoh. Just because I haven't raided him in a long time, and I kind of miss his streams. So let's do that. But yeah, thank you guys all so much for joining as usual. Y'all are all the bestest beans. And I'll see you guys for next week. I love you all. Bye-bye.